Hola amigos, bienvenidos a un nuevo stream. En esta ocasión, hoy día martes, ¿cierto? 27 de septiembre se presenta Intel Generación 13, los procesadores, ¿cierto? De 13ª generación, Raptor Lake, ¿cierto? Acá tengo ya listo el evento de Intel. Comienza en 46 minutos más, así que vamos a estar haciendo la previa de momento. Vamos a estar hablando un poco acerca del lanzamiento que fue Ryzen 7000, ¿cierto? Se presentaron hace un tiempo y se liberó el contrato NDA de la review ayer. Entonces tenemos datos nuevos de ayer respecto de cuánto rinden, sobre todo en juegos y esas cosas, ¿no? El resultado igual de Ryzen 7000 fue... es como raro, por así decirlo. Porque si bien sí son muy potentes, eso a estas alturas como que no está significando demasiado realmente. Veamos algunas revisiones. Déjenme buscar algunas. Ryzen. Acá está la review de Tech Power Up. Déjenme revisar. Cierto, acá hay fotos. Vamos a poner acá. Cierto, esto es Tech Power Up. Va a tener algo sobre lo que hablar encima, ¿no? Rafa Nadal. ¿Crees que 13 generación será notablemente más cara en el lanzamiento que la 12? Creo que no. Tendrá precios bastante similares. De hecho, se anduvo filtrando supuestamente en Newegg y los precios son más o menos, ¿no? Los que teníamos. 600 y tantos dólares para el más grande, ¿no? Más o menos eso costaba la otra vez. 450 para el 13700 y 330 para el 13600K. Que si esto llega a ser verdad, son precios muy buenos. Recordemos que el 13600K en esta ocasión tiene 14 núcleos, es el i5 más grande, ¿no? Si vale 330, no va a estar demasiado lejos de un 7600X, pero a diferencia de este que tiene 6 núcleos, 12 hilos, acá tenemos 14 núcleos. Entonces, si estos precios son reales y nos acompañan buenos números. Espérenme un segundo que se me movió la cámara. Voy a ver si la... Si Intel presenta buenos resultados, vamos a tener una competencia muy fuerte en cuanto a precio, en cuanto a rendimiento y todo, así que va a estar súper bueno. Va a estar súper buena la competencia, así que interesante. Veamos un poquito más de Ryzen 7000 para tener bien fresco lo que está significando Ryzen 7000. Bueno, acá hay fotos. Bueno, sabemos ya, los procesadores vienen así. Pasamos a, ¿cómo se llama? A procesadores de pad con los pines del procesador. O sea, el socket se parece mucho a los sockets de Intel en ese sentido, ¿no? El socket LGA famoso, ¿no? ¿Qué se puede decir? Bueno, acá hay diferentes benchmarks sintéticos muy específicos, ¿no? Acá hay renderizado, por ejemplo, una prueba clásica de poder bruto de cómputo, ¿no? Y se puede ver que sí es el mejor el 7950, ¿no? Le gana el 5950X, le gana el 12900K y se posiciona en primer lugar, algo que sabíamos que iba a pasar, ¿no? Los procesadores iban a ser, bueno, hasta el 7700X como el gama media. Pero acá vemos el 7950, de nuevo se corona en primer lugar en todo lo que es productividad sobre todo. Blender, render, compresión, descompresión, compilación, todo lo que sea productividad dura, son buenísimos. Pero ya cuando entramos a, por ejemplo, en V-Ray Render, que se usa mucho, ven, gana una por paliza. Todo lo que es browser, todo eso son muy rápidos, ¿no? Emulación Play 3. Esto va a estar interesante porque entiendo que son muy bestias para emular Play 3 por el tema de la UX 512. Pero ven, como no gana. No sé cómo hicieron la prueba, pero en 7950 igual el 12900K emula Play 3 mejor. Emulación de Switch. Acá sí, en ese caso, pero tampoco, ¿no? El 12900K está ahí. Están casi iguales. Pero que la generación pasada de Intel, entonces no. Encodeando video. Game Test 720p. Esto es interesante porque esto es como la... Obviamente nadie juega en 720p. Pero dejas la tarjeta como libre y le cargas todo el procesador al pedir las llamadas a dibujado a 720p. Entonces te da el verdadero poder del PC. Se ve en esta prueba, ¿no? Porque en 4K te puede dar todo igual. Y hay sorpresa. En algunos juegos, en la mayoría de juegos, hay juegos muy diferentes, ¿no? Hay juegos que sí gana Ryzen 7000 con claridad, ¿no? Hay un grupo de juegos que gana Intel y AMD queda muy cerquita del 12900K. Y hay otro grupo de juegos que AMD pierde contra el 5800X 3D, juegos que se benefician mucho de la caché 3D. El 5800 3D sigue siendo mejor que Ryzen 7000, por ejemplo. Bueno, sí, en Europa va a ser más caro porque hay un cambio en la paridad del dólar euro. Antes la paridad era, no sé, euro dólar, perdón, es la paridad. Euro USD. Antes creo que era el euro 1.20, ¿no? Una cosa así. Y ahora es 1-1, más o menos. Entonces, en lo que respecta a euros, como número, va a ser todo por sobre, ¿no? En los precios. Claro, tenías todo a 1.30, 1.20 y los precios eran los mismos, ¿no? Ahora te costaba 300 de Estados Unidos, te costaba 300 euros. Pero con la paridad 1.20, 1.30. Ahora como la paridad es 1-1, te va a costar 3.30. Si algo costaba 300 en Estados Unidos, te va a costar 3.30, 3.40, 3.50 en Europa. O más. Saludos, Rafael. Así que, bueno, los resultados son, ¿cómo decirlo? No se ven, por ejemplo, acá en estos juegos gana aquí el 5800X 3D, en otros juegos gana Intel y en otros juegos gana Ryzen 7000. Depende de cómo esté hecho el juego, si se beneficia de las cachés, si se beneficia de los IPC, si se beneficia de la frecuencia. Pero en ese sentido, en gaming, los resultados no son espectaculares. Como deberían, como uno lo esperaría, ¿no? Que ganasen todo y arrasase, no pasó. Sí son espectaculares en productividad, ahí sí que arrasan y todo. Pero, bueno, si ponen 4K o 1440p, están todos casi lo mismo, ¿no? Si se fijan, acá ya desde un 12400F en adelante, está todo 100% de rendimiento. Porque ahí es la gráfica la que se exige, no el procesador. Entonces es como raro, primera vez que tenemos resultados así como raros, por así decirlo. En donde toda esta potencia extra como que no está reflejándose en resultados. Bueno, evidentemente es por una razón bien lógica, ¿no? La potencia está como sobrando ya a estas alturas. Sobre todo con juegos antiguos, ¿no? Que no tiene mucho sentido. Si O sea, que te dé 300 FPS, 350 o 420. Dices, no, mira, da 420, da más que 350. Pero como que de cierta cantidad para adelante están como sobrando. Pero no perder de vista que sí son los mejores procesadores hasta el momento, aunque en algunos casos no lo parezca. Porque en algún juego puntual o en algún benchmark puntual los resultados no nos dan como uno esperaría. Pero lo que importa es el tema potencia bruta, y sí, ahí sí son buenos. Saludos a él, Mon Nar, no sé cómo se dice. Acá estamos. Saludos a Felipe. Sí, hoy día es el día de Intel, faltan 36 minutos. Quiero ver, bueno, más allá del tema potencia y rendimiento, uno es el rendimiento productividad, que es muy muy bueno. Rendimiento gaming dan resultados mixtos, medio raros. El power consumption, el consumo de energía, esto es un tema también. Estos procesadores consumen más. Sabíamos que iban a consumir más porque tienen TDP más alto, ¿no? Los que antes consumían 105 watts de TDP, tenían TDP de 105 watts, pasaron a tener 170. Y los que tenían 65 pasaron a tener 105. Entonces, consumen más y se calientan más también. Manejan temperaturas en torno a los, cuando están exigidos, en torno a los 95 grados. Y no, ¿cómo se llama? Fíjense, 7950, 94 grados. Más o menos, Gamer Nexus lo probó, dice que 95 grados con una líquida I/O grande. Pero igual el 7700 llega a 78 y si se hace Thunderbolt puede bajar y todo el asunto. Pero dicen que es normal, 95 grados, el procesador está hecho para funcionar a 95 grados sin problema. Y bueno, acá está la conclusión de Tech Power Up. Muchas gracias, Felipe, por suscribirte. Dice que es un rendimiento impresionante, es que sí lo es. Un rendimiento gaming fantástico, aunque tengas resultados mixtos en algunos casos. PCI Express 5, que está bueno para el futuro y todo eso, y para tener más velocidad. Después todo lo que va a ser DirectX Storage. Y recuerden, Resizable Bar, que va a empezar a entrar en todos los juegos, y DirectX Storage. Entonces, si tienes un NVMe PCI Express 5, te va a ir mucho mejor todo, etcétera, etcétera, ¿no? Bueno, ventajas, ¿no? De todo tipo. Y desventajas: plataforma muy costosa, es decir, placa, memoria RAM, te cuesta todo bastante. Requiere demandantes cooling, es decir, soluciones de refrigeración bastante importantes. Puede ser una torre grande de air cooling, como la Noctua, la famosa 15, ¿no? De H15 y variantes de la propia Noctua o competencias de esta. Y no soporta R4 como una desventaja por precio, ¿no? Y el cooler no está incluido en el fondo, bueno, se sabía, ¿no? Eso es lo que veo acá. Tech Power Up. Veamos. Anantech, que hace muy buenas reviews, son más técnicas, ¿no? Veamos. Bueno, acá hacen las pruebas de Spec View y todo eso, que son como más, te dan más los detalles del IPC y todo eso. Está todo el tema de las memorias de DR5, Expo, AMD Expo, los perfiles y todo eso, ¿no? Por ejemplo, acá, Spec de 2017. Acá están los benchmarks, ¿no? El naranjo el 7950 y el negro es el 12900K. O sea que el naranjo gana, ¿no? ¿Ven? Va ganando en todas las pruebas. La naranja es la barra más larga. O sea, eso, el IPC, digamos, en mononúcleo es el mejor en diferentes pruebas. Después está el 12900K, que es la barra negra. Después está la barra celeste, que es el 5950. O sea, O sea, como todo en orden bastante natural. Acá en algunas pruebas no da que es primero, por ejemplo acá da que la barra negra es mejor. Acá gana por muy poquito, pero en general sí ganan todo, ¿no? Eso es mononúcleo, y en multinúcleo es lo mismo, pero la barra es más, la diferencia es mayor. ¿Ven? Acá es más grosera la ventaja multinúcleo. Eso es como lo que está pasando. Bueno, acá está también el rendimiento gaming en 720p o menos. Que acá corren algunos juegos con resoluciones muy bajas, como 480p, solamente para ver la potencia real del procesador. Y por ejemplo en Civilization 6 a 480p mínimo, que nadie juega así, pero sirve para saber cuántos FPS da. Se da que, por ejemplo, sí es el mejor, ¿no? 218 acá, 217. El segundo sería el 5800X3D. Civilization, esto es el FPS mínimo, también es el mejor, ¿no? World of Tanks a 768p, acá no gana, ¿ven? Se ve que aquí gana el 12900K y el 7950 está acá. Hay otros juegos por Borderlands 3, 360p, gana el 5800X3D. Far Cry 5 a 720p, gana el 5800X3D. En segundo lugar el 12900K y en tercer lugar el 7950. Grand Theft Auto a 720p, gana el 5800X3D. En segundo lugar el 7600 y el 7950X. Están iguales, ¿no? Y eso, básicamente, ¿no? Respecto a la conclusión que obtiene, bueno, faltan 29 minutos. Las conclusiones que obtiene Anantech, vamos a traducirlas para leer un poquito más, a ver qué dice. Bueno, acá dice: pensamientos finales. Si bien AMD ha logrado avances significativos en Zen 4 en comparación con Zen 3 y Zen 2, nuestro Ryzen 9 7950 aumentó a 5,74 GHz en un solo núcleo, lo cual es muy impresionante. Si bien esta frecuencia está diseñada principalmente para aumentar el rendimiento de aplicaciones de un solo subproceso, que cada vez son menos, ¿no?, a estas alturas, la realidad es que bajo carga sostenida, dependiendo de la agresividad del enfriamiento, es más o menos de 5,4 en todos los núcleos, ¿no? La afirmación de AMD que el aumento desde alrededor del 13 en el IPC sobre Ryzen 5000 es acertada, dice que ellos encontraron que era igual, y una mejora en general del 29% del rendimiento entre la suma de frecuencia más IPC más todo, ganando 29%. También es correcto, dice. En el rendimiento de subprocesos múltiples, es decir, rendimiento multinúcleo, en carga vimos aumento de hasta un 38% de rendimiento, mientras que en otras 30%. Aquí está hablando la memoria, ¿no? Las temperaturas, que en algunos casos alcanzan 95 grados. Dice que aunque dicho explícitamente que 95 no es la limitación del procesador, el procesador puede funcionar perfectamente hasta 115 grados cuando se hace overclock manualmente. O sea, al procesador no le pasa nada hasta 115 grados. Saludos, Carlos. Saludos, Richard. Bueno, compatibilidad con AUX 512. Por ejemplo, acá muestran el potencial de AUX 512 real, ¿no? En movimiento partícula. Y saca una diferencia súper fuerte. Dice que las pruebas dan siempre más de 38.000 puntos en Cinebench R23 multinúcleo. Y eso, ¿no? Cinebench. Y todo en el fondo las conclusiones son como la misma. Dicen que el 7600X es una opción interesante porque en gaming da muchos FPS, pero la plataforma está como muy cara para lo que es realmente. Tienes que gastar 300 procesador, una placa vale 350, la más barata que hay ahora. Más la RAM, que también en torno a unos $300, 160, $180, ¿no? Te queda muy caro el equipo. Pero hay que esperar las placas de 650E, que pueden estar a precios mucho mejores y ser mucho más interesantes. Así que eso, bueno, Intel tiene una opción aquí, se puede meter entre medio. Va a estar muy interesante la lucha, porque no fue como un claro, ¿cómo decirlo? Un claro vencedor, una máquina de moler carne, ¿no? Como se dice. Ryzen 7000, a pesar de que ganan bastantes pruebas, no ganan todas, entonces no se ve tan fuerte. Es como bien raro, ¿no? Sí es muy fuerte, pero no se percibe así. Digamos, bueno, también estamos en un cambio generacional importante, donde estamos pasando a que todos los sistemas son PCI Express 5, usan RAM DDR5, etcétera, etcétera. Como plataformas también, USB 4, ojo, no solo hay que el procesador un poquito más rápido, un poquito más lento, ¿no? Estamos ante un cambio generacional importante en todo el sistema. Más líneas PCI, recuerden que ahora todas las placas X670E grandes traen todos los puertos USB de 20 GB, los rojos, ¿no? Que antes venían 2 o 3. Ahora traen todos los puertos rojos, te trae USB 4 ready, para cuando salga ahora que sale, ya te va a soportar USB 4. O sea, tienes todos los puertos USB, tienes como 20 conexiones USB, cosa que no se veía mucho en las placas antes. Todas las conexiones USB son rápidas. Todos los NVMe son PCI Express 5. La tarjeta de video, que también el uso es mínimo hoy en día, pero como plataforma está dando un salto igual para el futuro. Entonces sí, tengo todo eso, pero no, probablemente no lo use. En parte puede ser cierto, ¿no? Sí, como dice Richard, también AMD está preparando 7000, la familia 7000 con VCache, digamos, como una respuesta potencial a lo que puede hacer Intel hoy día. Intel, por su parte, va a aumentar la cantidad de núcleos, lo que le va a mejorar su potencia multinúcleo en sus procesadores, ¿no? El 13900K tiene 24 núcleos. El 13600K, que también está interesante, tiene 14 núcleos. Para el Series 5 está bastante bueno. Y el 13700K creo que tiene 16 núcleos, si no me equivoco. O 20, no me acuerdo. El evento empieza en 23 minutos. Estamos ya casi listos. O sea, hacen nada esos 23 minutos. Miren, acá está la filtración final de Intel, cómo va a ser, ¿no? El 13900K va a tener 8 núcleos P y 16 eficientes, 8 performance y 16 eficientes, 32 hilos, supuestamente bus de 5,8, digamos que son bus similar a lo que tiene AMD Ryzen 7000 en este caso. Más o menos eso, el 5,7 era el bus de AMD. Aumento importante en las memorias caché. Vamos a tener la generación 13 core tiene memorias caché bastante grandes. Aumentando mucho las cachés L2 sobre todo. Entonces vamos a tener 32 megas de caché L2 más 36 megas de caché L3. O sea, vamos a tener 68 megas de caché en el 13900K, que es un número importante, ¿no? Sobre todo para Intel, que nunca hemos visto números tan grandes en gama doméstica, sobre todo. Supuestamente precio 660. Habría que ver si en la presentación se confirma ese precio. Sería un precio bastante bueno, ¿eh? Bastante bueno. el KF, que es lo mismo sin video integrado. El K, el 13700, ¿cómo es? Es 8 más 8. Es decir, se parece el 13700, se parece mucho al 12900K. 8 más 8, pero tiene frecuencias más altas. Va a tener más caché. Va a tener 54 megas de caché, que es un montón. Y el 13600K es 6 más 8. Quedando en 114 núcleos, en 20 hilos. Frecuencia sobre 5. Con 44 megas de caché. $330 de ese rango de precio. Ojo que, bueno, la gran diferencia entre AMD e Intel en esta generación es el consumo, ¿no? Que probablemente Intel esté como en 100 watts más que AMD, por un rendimiento similar. Pero a uno no le importa demasiado realmente eso, salvo que sea muy costosa la luz. Entiendo que AMD a concho gasta como 270 watts cuando lo overclockean a concho. Y Intel cuando lo overclockean a concho da como 380 watts. Esto es porque la litografía de AMD es mejor que la de Intel en esta ocasión. Los 5 nanómetros TSMC contra el proceso Intel 7 de Intel en este caso, ¿no? Tengo un i5 10500. ¿Qué hago para renovar? ¿Me paso a un 10700 o espero a que madure DDR5? Mira, es que entre un 10500 y un 10700 no hay grandes diferencias. Yo esperaría y haría un cambio de plataforma, digamos. Cuando esté todo asentado, pasarse a algo que tenga DDR5, que tenga PCI Express 5, cosas, porque después los juegos van a venir con... Para empezar, las tarjetas que vienen van a ser PCI Express 5. De momento, claro, la primera generación de tarjetas PCI Express 5 como que no va a ser necesaria, pero después sí. Y los NVMe al principio ahora como que no se justifican, pero después van a salir los juegos con todas estas tecnologías, DirectX Storage y todo eso. Y después va a pesar bastante no tenerlo. Porque al principio va a ser un juego, después dos. Es un poco como el FSR y el DLSS. El primer año tú dices, no, mira, estos son 30 juegos, no me interesa. Pero ya el segundo año son 60 juegos y el tercer año son 120 juegos. Y ya a los 4 o 5 años. Piensen que el Ray Tracing lleva 4 años, cumplió 4 años. Y ya se empieza a ver, claro, el día 1 cuando salió RTX 20 uno dice, oye mira, no me interesa. Puede ser, pero ya pasaron 4 años. Tuvimos todas las familias RTX 20 y todas las familias RTX 30 completas, o sea, todos 2 años cada una. Y hoy en día hay un montón de juegos con Ray Tracing. Se sumó AMD al Ray Tracing, se sigue presionando a los desarrolladores de juegos para que todo va a tener Ray Tracing en el futuro. Se hacen remasterización de los juegos antiguos con Ray Tracing. Y hoy en día, ya 4 años que salió el Ray Tracing, no tener Ray Tracing ya duele un poquito más. Un poco va a pasar lo mismo acá con estas tecnologías importantes. Por eso un cambio de plataforma es bastante interesante, útil, ¿no? $17 minutos. No sé si supieron, pero se filtró esto. Hay PlayStation 5 de tercera versión. Se descubrió una tercera versión de Play 5. ¿Qué cambios trae? El socket, el SOC, esto, ya no está fabricado en 7 nanómetros, sino que está fabricado en 6 nanómetros. Es exactamente igual, pero está hecho en 6 nanómetros. ¿Qué pasa con eso? Se calienta menos, gasta menos energía. Entonces, ¿qué te ayuda? Que a la fuente de poder de la Play 5 te trabaja menos exigida y te hace menos ruido porque el ventilador va un poquito más despacio y necesitas menos solución de refrigeración. Entonces pudieron achicar el cooler, abaratarlo un poco en el fondo, ¿no? Así que, y bueno, entiendo que van a achicar un poco la Play 5. Va a ser exactamente igual de forma, pero va a ser más chica. Entiendo que AMD también va, o sea, AMD, que Xbox también va a hacer lo mismo, pero no ahora, el próximo año parece. Ah, el video integrado de... Recuerden, Ryzen 7000 tiene, todo Ryzen 7000 tiene video integrado, tiene 2 unidades de cómputo de RDNA2. Y tiene esas 3 salidas de video y todo el asunto, ¿no? Y una de esas salidas es DisplayPort 2.0, que es como la siguiente generación de DisplayPort. Hay que ver si RDNA3 tiene DisplayPort 2.0. Podría ser un mini golpe a Nvidia, ¿no? ¿15 minutos? Intel Innovation. ¿Quién va a presentar? Supuestamente Pat Gelsinger y Greg Levander. Van a hablar un montón de tonteras que no nos van a interesar porque Intel siempre lo hace. Como Nvidia lo hizo la última vez, ¿no? ¿Se acuerdan? Fue medio horrible. Muchas tecnologías que... Ahora está de moda, estamos en la fiebre del exascale. Supuestamente se presenta... esto es lo que vamos a ver nosotros, 1 hora dura, por lo menos está bueno. Y después dan pura información técnica a la prensa. Empieza a preguntar, oye, pero el chipset cómo funciona, y le empiezan a explicar a ellos. Y nosotros mañana tenemos los artículos detallados, escritos. Porque sale sale como el director del área técnica de procesador, explica, no, mira, esto es así, así. Después sale el otro y le explica, oye, esto es así, así. Están todo el día explicándole. A nosotros no nos importa, bueno, hay que pagar para entrar, bueno, pero es presencial, así que... Y tiene acceso a todo esto, ¿no? Tienes que pedir la carta de aprobación primero. Una vez que recibes la carta de aprobación, puedes pagar la entrada para entrar. O sea, no puede ir cualquiera en el fondo, ¿eh? Es como un filtro para que no vaya cualquiera al evento presencial. Por ejemplo, ¿a quién le puede interesar mucho ir a un gran vendedor de una gran tienda de computación? Por ejemplo, a Newegg. Algún trabajador de Newegg de puestos altos. O sea, personas así muy interesadas en ver todas las tecnologías nuevas de Intel, conocer todo, tener la relación cercana y todo. Hay que esperar 2 años más. Ah, no, pero recuérdate que Nvidia saca las actualizaciones intermedias. Y en algunos casos sí ha metido updates importantes a veces. Normalmente son updates de memoria VRAM. Meterle más cantidad, memorias más rápidas. Saludos de Ucrania, miren. Increíble. Saludos. Eh, Desbloquear por BIOS, DisplayPort 2.0 o con una actualización de BIOS puede ser. Porque físicamente entiendo que es lo mismo. No sé si tenga alguna hardware especial. El DisplayPort 2.0. Después te liberan la BIOS y flashas la GPU y tiene DisplayPort 2.0. Empezó, a ver, vamos a poner mute a la música. Pero faltaba. En HD, ¿cierto? Sí. Bueno, vamos a estar 15 minutos así. Supuestamente es ahí en un teatro, en un hotel. Ellos tienen que haber preparado la presentación, ¿no? Hicieron como un teatro dentro de un hotel. Y ahí van a estar los invitados. En el fondo. Intel tiene una gran oportunidad hoy día. Porque AMD, pues como lo explico, los procesadores sí son brutales. Pero los resultados no se vieron tan espectaculares. Entonces Intel hoy día se le puede meter entre medio perfectamente. Con precios más bajos, que aparentemente va a pasar. Y tiene que dar unos resultados buenos que debería darlos, ¿no? Hemos visto que las filtraciones nos han indicado que suben las frecuencias, que aumentan los cachés y que aumentan los núcleos, entonces deberían dar buenos resultados. Nos presenten, ojalá presenten la tarjeta de video de una vez por todas, ¿no? Recuérdense Intel Arc, la famosa A770 y todas sus variantes, la A750, la 500 no sé cuánto, que han tenido bastantes problemas. Deberían haber lanzado supuestamente iban a presentar el 4 de enero en CES y no pudieron, no llegaron y se atrasaron y todo el asunto, pero ya están más o menos listos para lanzar. Entiendo que los drivers estaban como hechos pedazos, por así decirlo. Y si lanzaban iba a ser un caos total. La gente no le iban a correr los juegos y iban a empezar a devolver las tarjetas, lo más probable que hubiese pasado. Los sponsors de plata ponen menos dinero para el evento. Intel está volviendo a competir bien arriba después del fail del, ¿se acuerdan? Del retraso de los 10 nanómetros. Ese fail le costó a Intel, le costó el primer lugar, ¿no? Cuando nos quedamos pegados en 14 nanómetros. 0.14, ¿cierto? 14 nanómetros llegaron en 6000, la generación 6000. 7000, que está bien, ¿no? Dos años. Después el 8000 también fue en 14 nanómetros. 9000 también fue en 14 nanómetros. Y el 10000 también fue en 14 nanómetros. Cosa que ya debería haber sido en 10 nanómetros hace rato. Habrá, sí. Seguro que va a haber 13900 KS. Seguro que sí. El tema, el problema de Intel más grande que yo veo que los procesadores van a ser bastante buenos y muy competitivos, pero el problema que van a tener es que como consumen más energía que los Ryzen, van a ser más calientes que los Ryzen, y los Ryzen ya son bastante calientes, entonces los de Intel van a ser más calientes aún. Va a estar complicado el asunto por ese lado, pero van a ser procesadores geniales. Estamos, 12:30, nos faltan 6 minutos. Empiezan a llegar los invitados. La prensa y los que pagaron. Bueno, va a estar muy interesante, por supuesto, porque se anuncian hoy día y Intel va a mostrar sus propios benchmarks, ahí sus láminas, pero no vamos a ver nada realmente hasta que se pongan a la venta un mes más y se liberen los NDA de la prensa, ¿no? Cuando se liberen esos NDA, seguramente toda la gente lo va a comparar con Ryzen, ¿no? Saludos ahí al Saiyajin Rebelde. Muchas gracias por suscribirte. Y en un mes más vamos a ver la verdad. Cuando se compare el 13900K contra el 7950 y lo hagan los youtubers que nosotros tanto consumimos, ¿no? Gamer Nexus, Linus Tech Tips. Incluso en español pueden hacer me imagino que Nate Gentil puede hacer un video así, o Torotocho, Droga Digital, no sé quién se le ocurre hacer ese video, pero ese video va a estar muy bueno cuando salga. Y ahí vamos a ver la verdad, mira, no, este procesador se calienta más que este otro, por esto, y rinde tanto más y rinde tanto menos. A ver, tenemos un bot acá que controla los mensajes y bloqueo mayúscula y todo, así que traten de escribir medio normal y no usar demasiado emoticones. Pueden usar emoticones, pero no millones de emoticones. Mayúsculas pueden usar también, pero menos de 10 por frase, no más. Y emoticones lo mismo, ¿no? 10, 20 emoticones, no más. Qué loco con el Ryzen 9 7950 modo eco. Es verdad, el modo eco es súper interesante. Me imagino que algún laptop en el futuro va a meter algo así. un 7950 con modo eco. Sí, es que van tan sobrado potencia que no necesitas tenerlo en modo normal. En modo eco arrasas cualquier cosa. Me acuerdo haber visto algunos laptops con 3950 con modo eco. El modo eco es un perfil de consumo de energía del procesador que lo habilitas ahí en Windows y te gasta la mitad de la energía, pero el rendimiento no es la mitad. Es bastante más de la mitad. Entonces tiene un muy buen rendimiento y estás consumiendo muy poquito. Espérate, te borró el... Es que escribes todo con mayúscula, pero por eso te censura el Nightbot. Hay que usar minúscula. Ah, bueno, en el código QR salen los detalles de los benchmarks. Por si tienes dudas de configuraciones y cosas. Muy transparente.
Welcome to the heart of Silicon Valley, Intel Innovation 2022. The doors are open and thousands of developers are filing in to see the opening keynote with Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger. After days of behind-the-scenes work, the stage is set and everything is ready for a two-day event where tech geeks gather, collaborate, and share their plans for the future. Innovation 2022 promises to be a groundbreaking event, and it all starts now.
Comienza el Intel Innovation.
Welcome to Innovation Live 2022, coming to you from the San Jose Convention Center. Hi everyone, I'm Madeline Littrell, your host for the next 2 days, broadcasting live from the Innovation
Van a hacer una previa, entiendo. Hay una previa, me imagino yo, de... Porque lo habían anunciado a la 1. O sea, a la 1 hora de Chile. Supongo que ellos van a hacer una previa de 30 minutos. Claro, ¿ven? Está corriendo el crono. Ellos van a hacer una previa de ellos mismos. De 30 minutos y después sale Pat Gelsinger a hablar. Vamos a ver qué tratan de comunicar en estos 30 minutos.
Wonderful to be here with you, Madeline, our attendees, and the folks at home joining this year's Intel Innovation event. I'm standing out here on Intel's version of the red carpet, the blue carpet, and excited to geek out with our developer community, ecosystem partners, and of course you.
Van a hacer
Looking great, Robbie. What's the energy like?
Una entrevista a la estrella en la blue carpet.
Well, I tell you, I've had the chance to speak to many folks.
Estaría bueno igual, dentro de todo.
Tech Insights Ballroom, the Innovation Zone, and everybody here backstage. They're all excited to be back in person this year and eager to see the keynotes.
Tipo ceremonia de los Oscars, así.
Thank you, Robbie. I'm with them. I'm eager too. We'll be checking in with you throughout the show to see who you're rubbing elbows with. But everyone at home, stick with us. We'll be bringing you some exclusive sneak peeks.
Calendario, ¿no? Schedule.
Live keynote and you won't get this anywhere else.
A las 9 la keynote de Pat Gelsinger, que es decir, a las 1 hora de Chile, o sea, en 30 minutos, en 28 minutos.
Exclusive first look around the showcase floor. We'll meet the winners of Intel's Global Impact Festival and get to know Ria Sharuvu, Intel's own pioneer of AI ethics. After the keynote, we're excited to welcome Pat Gelsinger for a live debrief.
Bueno, consideren que el evento físico, tiene muchos invitados en el hotel ahí donde están, en el centro de eventos. Entonces están como guiando al rebaño, ¿no? Explicando qué horas son las conferencias, dónde son.
For the first time ever, we are so excited to bring you backstage access and exclusive content for our virtual audience. That's you.
Me imagino que hay salas de exhibición en los salones contiguos, entonces tienen allá a la gente, pero tiene que venir a ver la conferencia de prensa de otro salón y no quiere perdérsela, entonces. Está Pat Gelsinger.
Pat Gelsinger, Intel's Chief Executive Officer, it's great to connect with you again here at Intel Innovation 2022.
Hey, Ravi, always a pleasure to be with you, and I appreciate your enthusiasm, excitement, and we are getting ready.
Está contento Pat Gelsinger.
We sure are. I can feel the buzz. Can you feel the buzz, Pat?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. The demos, the show floor, all of our vendors and partners showing up.
Fíjense atrás las instalaciones de los...
Amazing, amazing. Now, Pat,
el estudio de televisión que tienen montado atrás
really unique as a
para poder transmitir y todo. Es un stream solamente.
That we should be thinking about?
Well, like always, hey, I get up early, I practice my keynote, I get my speaker notes all ready, and that's sort of like religion for me. And then I don't look at them again until I go on stage, right? That's all done. But of course, hey, you need a few push-ups with me, Ravi?
I don't think I'm going to join you.
Okay. Can I do a few?
I think you can.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, great.
No.
Wow.
Planchas.
I think we're at 11.
Está hiperventilado, Pat Gelsinger.
Nice job. I've got to talk to you about that form, but hey, that was a torrid pace. Well, Pat, we love your energy. Your keynote's coming up in 30 minutes. Anything that
Mucha energía, Pat Gelsinger.
Any sneak peek you want to give us about your keynote?
Well, maybe three things. One is the new product introductions, right? And obviously it's a geek fest, but coming out with cool new technologies and being able to describe them to the audience. Second, developer. Let me remind you, developer. The heart of
desarrollo.
Enable hardware and software developers, and that's what I'm going to talk about. Greg's going to talk
ahí entra los temas driver desde la video.
In two parts, right? And I have some things, and Greg has some, aspects. But this idea of open, we are here for the open ecosystem, the choice that we enable across the platform, and then building more trust. So that's number two. And number three is, hey, some of the fun guests I have. I am such an underachiever. I'm going to describe that on stage. And one of my lifelong legends is joining us here today.
Hoy día.
We have some really great tech, some really great
Hoy día en 25 minutos más van a presentar los productos.
People joining us here at Innovation.
Excellent. I don't know about that underachiever bit, but I got to tell you, Pat, you've been on a torrid pace since last year's innovation. That was not in person, it was virtual. Now we're here in person. Tell us how you're feeling about the energy of everybody being here in person and yourself being able to engage the developer community.
Well, it's been just a great, 6-8 weeks. Obviously the White House, the bill signing on the CHIPS Act, Ohio groundbreaking where we, got it all underway, and now being together here in the Silicon Valley, where it all began and what Intel really helped to usher into the world. So all of this to me, today is such a great day to be back together in person with the developer community in Silicon Valley.
Excellent. Well, Pat, good luck in that keynote. We'll see you throughout the show.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you very much. Madeline, what's shaking back at the host desk?
Ravi, I can't believe you wouldn't do push-ups with Pat and that you called him out on his form. Bold move. But it does seem like Pat is ready to go, so thank you. We'll check back in to see how you're doing in a few minutes. Okay, for everyone watching online, we don't want you to miss a thing. Ravi and I are going to do our best to be the next best thing to being here in person. Consider us your eyes and ears and your tour guide around all the action. Yesterday, I checked out some of the demos here in the Creator Zone and Showcase, and you'll be amazed at what I discovered. Hi everyone, you can see that we're still setting up here at our Innovation Showcase, and I am reunited with my friend and demo nerd, Craig. We're so excited to have you back here with us.
So good to see you, Madeline. This is
Always
great.
a pleasure.
Exciting time at Innovation.
Amen to that, sir. Okay, tell us about the Spark Theater. This is like a mini keynote area.
That's absolutely. So we're bringing this down directly to the Innovation Showcase. And here we are. You'll see all the demonstrations that we have, over 100 demos on the floor. But at the center of it is our beautiful Spark
demos tienen preparadas ahí.
We're going to bring in a ton of mini keynote talks from everything from demonstrations,
explicar después de que presenten, tienen que explicar todo.
to some of our most valued partners, as well as customers are coming in to go ahead and tell us all about the brand new innovation that they're seeing with Intel technology this year. So stop on by, you've got to check it out.
I love it. This was the first stop, and now on to the next one. You have some time?
Absolutely. Let's go check it out.
Let's do it.
Intel, ahí está montando los escenarios, todo.
The Dev Tool Shed. So this is something here at Innovation where we have Intel experts to work through all of our open source tools, vTune, OpenVINO, all of the tools that you have to really maximize your performance of your code on Intel hardware. We also have an entire hands-on expert set where Intel employees with all of their expertise will be able to help you work through your code, your project, to be able to make sure that they're optimized in the best way.
You were saying earlier, this is like the BYO problem, like BYOP.
Bring your own problems. We love to solve it. So developers, come on down to Innovation. We've got you.
Nice one, una tienda chilena.
Let's let you know how to use them.
Love it. We love that confidence.
No 89.
Here in the Innovation Showcase. Well, you have to get to a rehearsal.
Bastante alto, ¿no?
Keynote. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. So great, Madeline. Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Thanks for stopping by. Well, we'll see more of Craig in just a few minutes during the opening keynote with Pat. But in the meantime, we have a few more stops. Let's head to the next one.
Están recorriendo los stands dentro de la conferencia.
Such a good dog. Shh, I think she's sleeping. We'll come back in a minute. Hi everyone, I'm here at the variable viewpoint capture with Horst.
Recuerden que está de moda la inteligencia artificial. En otros lados están otras unidades.
A multi-camera system that we developed. It is a consumer-grade 15-camera system that captures 15 different views.
Motion capture y cosas, ¿no?
And then we have an entire end-to-end infrastructure that takes that content, streams it to the cloud, and turns it into immersive video that you can view at different locations here in the demo.
And it's incredible.
Es el modelado 3D instantáneo, lo sube a la nube.
It runs on a normal laptop, and it responds to your face and your movement, even spatial audio, right?
That's right. Yeah, you use a standard laptop.
Imágenes 360 en la nube en el instante y cosas así.
Screen, and then it creates a view that's exactly the view that you need from that perspective. We are using the same set of cameras. It's still only 15 cameras, but we are creating 48 different views that are then shown on a special TV that creates 45 views simultaneously. And it does look like a hologram. It does look like a floating face in front of you.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. This was a really neat demo.
Thank you.
On to the next one.
Bueno, muchas cosas que se pueden hacer hoy en día, ¿no? Sobre todo con todas las tecnologías que hay.
Oh, you're so good.
Ahí está el perro,
I think this one's probably my favorite.
Está humanizando el perro.
I know I said it on the package, but I think that robot dog might be my favorite technology in this space.
Yeah, and you might pay a little bit more attention than my Skippy at home. Yeah, honestly speaking, Madeline, this is mind-blowing stuff, right? And I got to tell you, it's great to be back here in San Jose,
¿Crees que Raptor Lake rebase los 6? Es difícil, porque veníamos de cuánto, de 5,3, son muchos megahercios. Pero va a andar cerca igual.
Yeah, lots of stuff going on.
5,8 habían dicho más o menos. Quizás el KS en un futuro a 5,9, una cosa por ahí va a andar.
100%. We're packing a lot into the next 2 days, and we're so excited to see what happens in this keynote live.
Recuerden que es como curvo mientras más megahercios, el consumo energético es exponencial. Un megahercio más no es un watt más, por así decirlo. Es 2 watts más, después otro megahercio más, son 4 watts más, y así, entonces en algún momento se vuelve insostenible. Y la temperatura lo mismo, ¿no? 100 megahercios más, un poquito de temperatura, pero los siguientes 100, 100, 100, después ya la temperatura es...
What I can tell you is Pat has a lot of exciting things to announce today, and I'm not going to drop any of the trade secrets, but I can tell you that there might be a few things with the PC and next leadership products that I think you're all going to be very excited to hear about.
Leadership Products, productos líderes de mercado. Tienen confianza, se tienen confianza.
Time with me, but our developer audience here. Tell me about what it feels like to be here in person, rubbing elbows with our developer community.
Yeah, it's so exciting just talking to them, the passion that they bring. And it's our job to make sure that we deliver the tools and technologies so that they can bring our silicon to life. And they are able to bring that silicon to life in ways that we never imagined. And so it's thrilling to be here this week back in person with some of the best and brightest.
So what is some of the things you want the developer community to take away from the keynotes, the show, the engagements? Like, what are your top threes?
Yeah, when I think about the developers, I really want them to know that Intel is more than committed to an open ecosystem. I think that is so important. Where there's
ecosistema abierto,
innovation, we know that wins. And Intel is going to continue to make sure that we deliver leadership products on a yearly cadence that they can innovate around. And when we work together, we know we win with an open ecosystem.
Dice que el ecosistema abierto les va a dar la ventaja para ganar y todo. Qué importante los ecosistemas abiertos, en verdad.
Unifying the ecosystem supply chain. So there's so many partners involved in this amazing ecosystem we have. Any last takeaways for you for them in Intel Innovation 2022?
It's going to be an exciting week. We've got amazing products. You're going to see those products come alive because of some of the developers in the audience. And I'm super excited to see what they create.
Excellent. And Michelle, thank you for spending time with us. We'll see you a little later in the show.
Thank you.
Madeline, back to you.
Thanks, Ravi. Lots of emphasis on openness this morning. I think we're going to hear a lot about that in the keynote. Okay, we're counting down the minutes to Pat's keynote. Coming up, we'll have more backstage interviews. And next, Intel's AI Global Festival winners join us on set.
Están los acomodadores de asiento.
Let us know by
unas paletitas.
#IntelOn.
Durante la empresa, representan alguna empresa, entonces para que se la ubiquen, veas la paletita por ahí y te vayas a sentar allá. Venden las vendomáticas japonesas.
How many tacos did you order?
100.
Todo lo que hace la informática hoy en día, ¿no? K-pop.
The technology inside, the technology that moves the world. How wonderful is that? Intel.
Welcome back to Innovation Live. We're coming to you from the San Jose Convention Center, where everyone is gearing up for the opening keynote. For those who are just joining in, I'm Madeline Littrell, and I'll be your host for the next 2 days. As you might expect, we'll be spending a lot of time talking about AI in the next 2 days. A big part of that conversation is encouraging and celebrating the ones who will be shaping the future of artificial intelligence. Intel launched the AI Global Impact Festival.
Van a hablar ahora del ecosistema de inteligencia artificial, siempre que hoy en día muy de moda, ¿no?
Next generation technologists, future developers, policymakers, and academics who work to solve real-world problems using AI. This year, Intel received more than 1,000 entries from 25 countries. And joining us now are the winners of this year's festival. We have
los ganadores de no sé qué.
Krish and Tanapat. It's so nice to meet y'all. Thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you for having us. Yeah, it's wonderful being here.
Awesome, congratulations. Again, I'd love to hear a little bit more about your projects. And Dina Marie, let's start with you. Ladies first.
Well, our project is indoor industrial safety and hazard prevention. And we were really inspired because 2 of my team members have worked in industrial areas, and safety is just such a major concern. And so we really wanted to focus on how to use AI to
Son ganadores del concurso del uso de inteligencia artificial en diferentes ecosistemas de ella en una comunidad educativa.
Without the use of facial recognition, and so we're using LiDAR for that.
Oh, very cool. Using AI to protect people.
Yes.
Very cool. Krish, what about you? Tell us about your project.
Yeah, so my project is basically an AI model which is aimed at improving the accessibility to programming by breaking the barrier of language to get started with programming. So it basically summarizes the code which user writes in their own mother tongue so they can better understand what they are writing, and it helps people to get from non-native English background to get started with programming.
Oh, that's amazing. How old are you?
I'm 17.
You're 17. I can tell you love it more. You have great energy.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, I love doing this. Awesome. And Tanapat, tell me about your project.
My project is about I create a medical innovation that allows people to have a regular heart checkup, because heart disease is very important in this world because it can happen to anyone and anywhere. So we need to take care about the heart. So when we have the regular heart checkup, we can screening the heart disease and we know faster and get the treatment faster than normal.
And you can do this outside of a doctor's office or a hospital.
Yeah, we can do it at home by ourselves.
Wow, that's incredible, especially for those who might not have direct access to a hospital, who might be in farther, more distant or suburban areas. Yeah. Very neat. Okay, so what do y'all think are some of the biggest risks or challenges that you're going to face in this AI field?
So I guess how responsibly we are using an AI would be a very big challenge in the future as well with our own projects. So letting the right use of AI with the right ethics is a big challenge ahead.
Yeah, responsible AI is going to be huge. So what's next for y'all? Anyone want to share a dream or what you're going to work on next before we wrap?
In my dreams, in the future, I want my projects to using worldwide. I think I will expand to the rest of my country, Thailand, to allows everyone to get a regular heart checkup. Also, then starting to expand to the rest of the world, because like I'm talking now, is have maybe someone died from the heart disease. Like according from the CDC, every 34 seconds maybe someone die in the United States from the heart disease. So it's very important.
Absolutely. Well, you are an inspiration, and no doubt you're going to make that happen.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Congratulations again. Thank you for being here today. And Ravi, we're going to take it back to you. Who do you have with you next?
Hey, Madeline. Well, I am standing here with Sandra Rivera, who leads our Intel Data Center and AI group. And I got to tell you, I'm so
Intel Data
excited.
Center e Inteligencia
It's almost go
Artificial.
time. Sandra, you're going to have to hold me
Sandra
back.
Rivera.
T-minus 10 minutes, Ravi, so pretty exciting.
Well, hey, we're back here in person for the first time. How are you feeling about this year's in-person elbow bumping with the developer community?
Well, it is always
En
better
9
to be in
minutos la
person and to see
conferencia
everyone in
de
3D. So super excited.
de Pat
I actually
Gelsinger.
got a little bit of a sneak peek in the tech
Y ya
showcase
sacaba ya la previa.
zone earlier today, so I can't wait to see everything that Pat's going to talk about, and then of course to open up those developer podiums and platforms and demos to everyone.
Right, right. You got a little sneak peek. Anything you want to share with us?
Well, I can't really say too much other than for sure we are trying to make the innovations that we build into our products and platforms more accessible, more consumable, so that we can unlock all of that value through, of course, our developers. So you're going to see a lot of discussion about our developer cloud and some of the products and capabilities that we've put in there. You will see innovations from our platform providers, our ecosystem partners, software vendors, both large industry leaders as well as some of the new startups and the smaller companies that are really pushing on that leading edge of innovation.
That's amazing. So it's such a big ecosystem, right? And they're all coming here, Intel Innovation Live. Hey, I wanted to ask you, we just got done with our Global Impact Festival winners, and that was amazing, right? And technology education, especially in AI, is something that you're really passionate about. What are your thoughts on the next generation of talent coming in?
You know, this is probably one of my favorite parts about this event and the things that we do to unlock innovation in the world and use technology for good. When I get to hear from those next generation technologists and see the things that they're doing and thinking about and the way they're using all the ingredient technologies and innovations that we provide to have impact at scale, I get very excited. So I'm looking forward to our little photo op with all the Global AI Impact Festival winners later today.
That's amazing, and I'm sure they're really waiting to see you also. Hey, Sandra, it was great, and back to you, Madeline.
All right, good stuff, Ravi. Last year at Innovation 2021, Pat Gelsinger introduced the idea of superpowers and Intel's commitment to openness, open ecosystems, choice, and trust. Moving on to this year, we expect today's keynote will highlight the progress Intel has made toward that goal, as well as the technologies that will be essential to developers with an increased focus on AI. We know there will be a few surprises in store as he and his guests share more on the evolving industry landscape and an expanded portfolio of cutting-edge technologies that will help developers build solutions that will change the world. Coming up, it's nearly time for Pat's keynote. But before we count down, we'll meet someone you're going to see a lot of in the opening keynote, AI ethics pioneer Ria Sharuvu.
Bueno, todos los usos de la tecnología, fíjense. Nuestra vida tan tecnológica hoy en día.
How many tacos did you order?
100.
Bum, 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 bum.
The technology inside, the technology that moves the world. How wonderful is that? Intel.
Welcome back. We're coming to you live from Intel Innovation. The audience is filing in and we're counting down the final minutes to the opening keynote.
Están ya todos sentaditos.
Our next guest graduated high school at only 11 years old. Now
Está tomando cuerpo.
She has earned her master's in data science from Harvard University and worked for 4 years here at Intel. Fun fact, when she's not writing code, she's writing poetry. Hear from this inspiring woman in her own words.
Hi, I'm Ria Sharuvu. I'm an AI ethics lead architect at Intel, and this is my job in my own words. As part of my role, I'm responsible for tackling 3 primary categories. The first is ensuring that technologies are developed responsibly, both for the AI models and the mechanisms that surround them. The second is helping influence our internal compliance processes to Intel. And the third is helping influence the regulatory landscape around
el evento viene después de
I've
Intel.
been working in AI for about 6 years now. I started my initial
El 3 de noviembre debería ser RDNA 3.
undergraduate degree in computer science, where I studied a lot of key
Pero
concepts around big data
podría haber
systems,
uno entre medio quizás, no se sabe.
philosophy,
Si es que
and AI.
Intel presenta sus tarjetas, decide presentarlas entre medio.
And started to work
O podría
on
presentarlas
designing
acá,
applications
o
around
podría
deep
no
learning and
presentarlas.
reinforcement learning. I'm now a full-time architect
Pero
that has her
no
master's
sabemos,
degree in
no hay
data
fecha
science.
para el lanzamiento de
As
las tarjetas de
software
Intel,
architect,
entonces
my
podría
goal is
estar
to be
entre
able
medio
to
o
understand
estar después.
developers' pain points and be able to implement technologies that make some of these key concepts easy to digest and implement. So my goal is to be able to help develop technologies and also empower the ecosystem so developers are able to use these to make their life easier, but also are able to voice back and help contribute to these technologies. Communication is one of those essential items as part of the AI domain, and to me, my passion is around being able to digest some of these very complicated topics and then be able to present that to audiences. One of the coolest things about my job is being able to identify and dive deeper into very challenging problems around AI systems. Collaboratively, we can start to solve some of these key problems, tapping into the expertise of some amazing perspectives around the world, and be able to identify how can we best prepare, design, and implement AI to improve quality of life. And that's what I do for Intel.
You heard it in her words. Now we're here with Ria Live. Ria, you were not only a huge inspiration, but also Intel's AI ethics lead architect.
3 minutos.
What personally excites you
ya,
about Intel innovation this year?
Oh, thank you, Ravi. I think what personally excites me is being able to get exposed to a lot of this talent and learn from all of these different teams and showcase their awesome capabilities and performance. So.
That's amazing. Now, which demos are you looking forward to seeing the most during the next 2 days?
Definitely the ones corresponding to AI. So all of them are super interesting. Really looking forward to being able to speak to those, learn more about them, and assimilate all that.
That's amazing. Now I got to tell you, I've been watching you and some of your talks. You talk a lot about curiosity, and I have a 12-year-old daughter, Anjali. What do you want to say to little girls to inspire them to get into technology, to be curious? What are your words of wisdom for them?
Oh, absolutely. I think curiosity is like that central part of being able to pursue different learning opportunities. So I'd say the first step to curiosity is happiness. You're able to understand what you really want to explore and then go ahead and dive right deep into it. And then you're able to figure out, okay, this is where I'm going to go next when it comes to pursuing that curiosity. This is what happens if I fail. And having that kind of rock to stand on. That's what I'm learning currently is the most important thing to pursuing your passion.
That is amazing advice, amazing advice. So this is your first innovation event? In person. How are you feeling about the energy and the buzz in the room?
Oh, feeling great. I'm just like learning all of the new things and I feel great.
Saludos, ya.
Definitely, the team is
Le preguntan
providing
por
so much support.
el buzz en el ambiente, o sea, como la electricidad en el ambiente, algo
Excellent to be
así.
here with you. And Madeline, we'll take it back to you.
Thanks, Robbie. Man, she is impressive. So here's what to expect in our opening keynote. We'll have a host of demos showcasing improvements in both software.
¿Qué van a mostrar? Hardware y software demos,
Some new tools that will accelerate development and also
herramientas de aceleración,
Intel to build stronger
ecosistemas colaborativos, sostenibilidad software y surprise announcement. Anuncio sorpresa. ¿Cuál será ese anuncio sorpresa? ¿Qué podría ser sorpresa fuerte? La presentación de la línea HEDT, que Intel hace tiempo que no está presente.
Madeline, I tell you, I love it.
Pero no se ha filtrado nada al respecto. Sería como muy sorpresa.
As you notice, there are some people in this room. Nobody's wearing capes, but I got to tell you, there are events.
Cambio de socket. Pero está con el socket de la generación pasada.
So I'm going to kind of bring you back, and I'm going to bring
Miren
the
el estudio de
audience
televisión
back.
ahí
I'm gonna
atrás.
point over here, and this is what we call demo land. So these are the folks that are enabling all of the demos and the showcases and the technology at the event this week. And lots of work. My man Art over there making it happen with his team. And yeah, lots of great stuff going on over there. And this is what I consider the center of the universe. This is our live stream crew over here. If it wasn't for these guys, you wouldn't be seeing this pretty face.
El control del streaming.
These guys are making it happen. Okay, and then we've got Video Village. Video Village, they're the ones
Video vigilancia de la conferencia.
to bring it to stage and bring it to the show. And now I'm going to take you up on stage. So watch your step, guys. Oh, wait a minute. Look what I found here. Can you see this? This is programming the 8386 book that was co-written by Pat Gelsinger. Okay, and come on, follow me out here. Let's see what's going on outside. Wow, look at that. Look at those smiling faces. Are we excited, everyone? Look at that.
Está atrás del
Happy
escenario.
back here in person
Buena.
At Innovation 2022. Back to you, Madeline.
Thanks, Robbie. Oh my goodness, I loved seeing all the waves and the smiling faces out there. But it's obvious. We have the heroes there. We have the developers here. The execs are here. The special guests are here. And of course, you, our online audience, are also here. Everyone, the time is here. Let's take it to Innovation 2022.
Please welcome Intel's CEO, Pat Gelsinger.
Está Pat Gelsinger.
Welcome all. Good morning, good evening. Shana Tova to all of our friends who are celebrating Rosh Hashanah, and our Israeli talent just play a huge role for Intel.
Recordó un poco
and our teams there
el Rosh Hashanah, ¿cómo se llama?
with their family.
El año nuevo judío, ¿no?
But to the rest of Team Intel, we are here.
Que fue hace
We're gonna have a
poquito,
great
en septiembre,
event
¿no?
Together now, and it's wonderful to be back. What do you think? In person? Yeah. In person in our backyard here in Silicon Valley. And a beautiful day today, so let's get started. You know, and as the host of Innovation 2022, I have to affirm Intel's deep, unwavering commitment to an open ecosystem. And last year we said we'd innovate on future technologies in the open. We would offer you choice. We'd help drive industry-shaping standards. And, as we said, we have to make them more secure. These platforms have to be things that you can trust in and build your platforms and businesses upon. And over the next 2 days, we're going to show you our progress, but also look into the future in these areas as well. And we have a ton of news for you today in hardware, software, chip design, security, new developer platforms, and everything the industry has to offer. We're going to geek out. Did you get it? Right? Okay, all you geeks in the room, if you don't get it, right, go back and check your ASCII coding again, right? This is geek in ASCII, right? So, and we're going to have some expected guests, but some unexpected guests as well. And we're going to have a great show for you this week. You can think about this as a keynote in 2 parts, right? You got me today, and you got Greg Lavender, our CTO, tomorrow, talking about many of our software-first and developer-focused activities. And for those here on site, join us in our innovation zone, where we're going to have some geeky demonstrations, get to look firsthand. And for those of you online, wish you were here, but the online experience is going to be great. Stay on afterward for expanded coverage, and you don't want to miss it. So let's get started. We're in this new era, and it may not be quite post-pandemic, but we're starting to see our way to the other side of it. And through this period of time, we have seen the increasingly critical role that technology plays in every aspect of human existence. Everything is going digital. How we work, how we learn, how we rest, how we care for each other, how we worship, how we live in society and in community together. In this digital era, we continue to witness the magic of technology, our ability to push forward with innovation, discovery, and growth. And this is driven by what I like to call the superpowers, these foundational technologies that are profoundly shaping how we experience the world. And it creates this bridge from the analog, from the physical to the digital world. It enables us to simulate, to create the digital twin of everything that we do. One of those, compute. And since the 4004, we've just been pushing compute into everything. Connectivity, everyone and everything is becoming connected. Infrastructure, with unlimited scale of cloud, but increasingly with edge, unlimited reach for capacity as well as low latency and bandwidth. And AI intelligence everywhere, turning this infinite data into actionable insights. And I've been framing these 4 superpowers for a while, and then in conversation with some industry peers, and in particular a conversation with Thomas Friedman, the Pulitzer Prize winning New York Times author, he convinced me I was missing one. Sensing. And everything that we compute and connect is now becoming increasingly able to sense. We see objects and even be able to see things that you can't see, right? Hear things, know exactly where you are, and increasingly be able to feel, taste, right? All of our senses. And I want an augmented reality where all of my senses become digitally enhanced as well. And even my infirmities, like here's my hearing aid, part of our family, right? We lose our hearing, but now, what did she say again? I know more about you than you think I know. Even my disabilities become sensory devices to make my everyday better. Each one of these 5 powerfully, individually, just changing. But as you think about it, more sensing means more compute. More compute means more connectivity. More connectivity, more infrastructure. More data over that infrastructure, more AI, which leads to more use cases, right? They're reinforcing, accelerating, empowering each other to unlock even more powerful possibilities in the future. It also changes how we think about our business as well. And how we think about chip design and, the role that we play in this industry. And with that, we launched Intel Foundry Services, a key part of our IDM 2.0 strategy to help meet this growing demand for advanced global semiconductors. And we've committed to a strategy of helping to build a more balanced and resilient supply chain for the world. And at its heart, of course, is Moore's Law. And for decades now, I've been in the debate, is Moore's Law dead? And the answer is
el roadmap de litografía.
And with advances in transistors with RibbonFET, advances in power delivery with PowerVia, right? With breakthroughs in lithography, with high INA lithography, the core of semiconductor manufacturing, with advanced packaging technologies. We aspire from today about 100 billion transistors on a single package. By the end of the decade, 1 trillion transistors. 1 trillion transistors in a single package. And we are on schedule or ahead of schedule on this audacious strategy that we have said 5 nodes in 4 years. Normally it takes 2 years for a node. We're going to do 5 in 4 years. Are these Intel folks crazy? No, we are just torridly moving to the future. And our 18A, right, the key one where we will assert as unquestioned leadership, the PDK 0.3 is in the hands of developers today, and we expect our first test chip taped out against that before the end of the year. We will not rest until the periodic table is exhausted. We will continue to be the stewards of Moore's Law into the future. You got it? Alive and well. But of course, to be a great foundry, you got to be a great wafer foundry. And we're going to continue to work to grow that semiconductor demand, build more capacity, work with our customers as a foundry. And we've announced our intention to acquire Tower Semiconductor. Combined with IFS, we will have a global diverse end-to-end and one of the richest portfolios of differentiated
el modelo de negocio end-to-end, fundición end-to-end.
Our vision is much greater than that. IFS will usher in what we call the systems
Recuerden que Intel está abriendo sus fundiciones a otros ensambladores como Qualcomm y otros.
We see a systems foundry having 4 components to it. First, you got to be a great wafer foundry. We're not debating that. Got to be good at that. But second, right, it has to be great at packaging. And even Gordon Moore, when he wrote his original paper on Moore's Law, he foresaw this day of reckoning where we'll need to build larger systems out of smaller functions, combining heterogeneous and customized solutions. And with 2, 2.5, and 3D stacking, this gives us the ability to increase the number of transistors per device. Third, software. And as you're going to hear from Greg tomorrow, he calls it software, the soul of the machine. And we'll take these stable software interfaces that allow you to accelerate your product development and delivery. Open source software stack, the key software components that unleash the different chiplets, accelerators, and abstractions. And we're increasingly going to make that common through our one API solution. And as we like to say at Intel now, software-defined, silicon-enhanced. Software comes first. And the fourth, a vibrant chiplet
el ecosistema de desarrollo de Intel, ¿no? Intel One API.
Like PCIe and Ethernet and Wi-Fi over time. And my granddaughter, when she plugs in a USB stick into the computer, she says, "Thank you, Papa." Yeah. You may like me, but I care more what she has to say. And once again, we're going to lead an ecosystem to create the standardization of a chiplet architecture, and we call it the Universal Chiplet Ecosystem, or UCIe.
Están todos
We have more than 80 companies who are
participantes
in this creation of this open chiplet environment. And you can imagine something like this. Hey, I'm getting a few of my chiplets from Intel, but hey, I have a few of these pieces that I've also developed on TSMC. And maybe my power delivery components are coming from TI, and I have some of my I/O chips that I'm doing on global foundries. Bring those together, and of course, Intel with the most advanced packaging technology, assemble those together for me, and be my supply chain manager. So we're going to bring all of those pieces together.
Arman un procesador ahí con partes de Global Foundry, de TSMC, lo arman ellos en Intel. Como
TSMC, our goal is to provide
mezcolanza de fundiciones de todas las marcas y pueden juntar todo en un solo producto.
The future is chiplets. This is why Samsung supports the UCIe goal to establish an ecosystem of chiplets that will drive the next era of heterogeneous computing. Thank you.
So with Intel, Samsung, and TSMC, you've just heard the three large
Samsung, TSMC,
silicon manufacturing
Global
companies
Foundry.
committing to a common direction. And as part of our IDM 2.0 strategy, we're committed to investing in the fundamental capabilities to enable
Saludos,
this
Can.
ecosystem, but also the next generation of talent as well. And part of our $1 billion IFS Innovation Fund is directly investing in companies and startups and disruptive technologies. And we've had phenomenal response, even in the early days of forming this ecosystem. We've already made our first investments and many more in the pipeline to come. But we also have this desire to expand the talent much more deeply. And we have our university shuttle program that we've been running with a select set of public and educational institutions to enable them to have modern technology for their classes, training, and talent development. And I've given our team an audacious goal to scale our shuttle program, the passengers, the number of trips that we're doing, 100x. Working with 100x. Did you hear that again? Right, 100x increase in our shuttle capabilities. Professors, researchers, students, all of them being trained on the latest EDA tools and having access to shuttles that they can be sending their chips to manufacturing on the most leading process technologies in the industry. And I think of this just like when I did my first DRAM design and sent it to Moses for manufacturing. 40 years ago, but we want to build that talent pipeline for the future. And we're going to work with these institutions to radically increase the semiconductor talent flow of tomorrow. This is our commitment to the future of the semiconductor industry. Switching gears, another passion of mine has been in this area of graphics and accelerated computing. And we've been delivering integrated graphics for decades. But we've also known for decades that high-density computing, high-performance vector, matrix, the highest bandwidth requires a different solution as well. And this area of HPC has ushered into AI, machine learning, and core graphics technologies like ray tracing. And personally, I've been on this journey for 16 years. When I left Intel 12 years ago, it was the only major not done on my list of things that I wanted to finish. Well, I'm back, and we're now going to get it done. And with that, I'm delighted today to announce our GPUs. We got not one, but 3 of them to describe today. And the first GPU is our Intel Data Center GPU Flex. And this product, pixels are growing exponentially for a range of workloads, visual cloud tasks, media transcode, cloud gaming, inference and training, and AI. And this is industry's first hardware-based AV1 encoder for a data center GPU, delivering more than 30% bandwidth savings.
Con capacidad de encodeo AV1, es la primera tarjeta gráfica que lo puede hacer.
Open and full stack API access. And today, Flex Series is supporting one API, of course, but enabling frameworks like TensorFlow, OpenVINO, and PyTorch as well.
TensorFlow. Tarraya Goduri.
But of course, the first cousin of big AI and data centers, high-performance computing. And this is our Ponte Vecchio, our flagship high-performance GPU.
Es el acelerador de inteligencia artificial de servidores, ¿no?
The pace for our most advanced packaging technologies, petaflops of performance. And together, Ponte Vecchio,
petaflops
along with our Sapphire Rapids HBM, our 4th generation Xeon.
Sapphire Rapids. Los Xeon.
Is the computing brains behind the Aurora supercomputer. And together we're delivering these blades right now to Argonne National Labs to build the world's highest performance supercomputer. But where did it all begin? You can't talk about GPUs without talking about gaming.
Gaming.
For a long time, we've been seeing that the
GPU gaming, la 770?
Right in this, $200-$300 range. But what's happened the last few years? They've just gotten super expensive, and we don't think they need to. Today, we're about to fix that. And we are, with gamers, delivering and hearing the complaints of high prices. So you should be frustrated because you are losing out as the gaming community. And today, we're fixing that. Here is the ARC 770. Right, this is our top-end gaming desktop GPU packed with features, delivers 65% better peak performance in ray tracing versus competition. We've come a long way.
65% más rendimiento ray tracing que la competencia. Veamos eso. Con XSS, ¿cierto? El escalado temporal de Ray Tracing, Ghostwire Tokyo. A770. 12 de octubre, 329, asesino el precio. El rey de más que la 3060 vale mucho menos, mucho menos.
Starting at 329 price point, and the cards are on the way to our reviewers right now.
Están enviados a los revisores ahora mismo. En octubre 12 sale a la venta. Buena, buena. Vamos bien, vamos bien. No tiene Felipe. No hay ni un producto para competir ahí.
To continue to use technology as a force for good, to serve the technologists on the front lines, and to use technology to solve today's biggest problems. And we've been around for a little bit over 50 years, and we're the company that put silicon into Silicon Valley. And I remember as a young technician, when I walked into Intel, I was so impressed by the technology leaders that they were there. I thought I had entered the sacred place, going into the temple of technology, where everyone was maniacally focused on what technology could be and how it truly could change the world. And with that, I want to bring on stage a young, bright technologist.
Está bueno el precio de la 770, me gustó bastante.
Technology as a force for good. Ria Chereview, right, graduated high school at 11. Started working at Intel as an intern at 14, the same year she received her undergraduate degree from Harvard. She's a whopping 18 years old today, the same age I was when I started at Intel. And you can imagine, on stage, I am now the underachiever. Please join me in welcoming Ria to stage.
Ria Chereview. Creo que es ciencia de datos.
Well, thank you, Ria. And like I say, boy, it's not often I feel like I am just like an underachiever starting at 18. Man, you've done incredible things already.
Thank you.
So tell us what you're working on now.
Oh, absolutely.
Ética de inteligencia artificial.
As lead architect, my goal is to develop technologies that help make AI more responsible, trustworthy, and ethical.
Well, you and I have talked about the importance of taking on challenges, and not being afraid to fail. So what do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm ready to take these on head on and solve them. So.
Okay. So, let's talk about this vast community, this vast universe of tools and technologies we're making available to innovators and developers like you, Ria, and how we want to continue to provide easy, affordable access to the latest stuff. And we want to help you get your hands into it without downloads or tough hardware setup. And so to that end, right, and you'll hear more about this in Greg's session tomorrow, right, the Intel Developer Cloud, giving developers access to new and forthcoming hardware solutions for pre-launch development and testing.
Absolutely, and I think my peers are ready to get their hands on this technology and start innovating with it.
Yeah, and we're expanding our Intel Dev Cloud experience. We're not trying to compete with the Amazon, Google, and Azures of the world, but to win your hearts and minds with early access of the latest great technologies that we're working on. And today, the Intel Developer Cloud is limited beta to select and pre-qualified customers, but our objective is to expand that significantly to developers over time for their platforms and to enable the scale of this service in the future.
Absolutely.
And as part of this trial, we're putting the latest and greatest stuff out there. And you'll have access to our latest technologies, 4th gen Intel Xeon, also known as Sapphire Rapids, to Habana Labs Gaudi 2, right, to our advances in IPUs and our NEX technologies. And this is just the beginning, and you'll get updated this week on the full set of things because we want developers to have access to the latest and greatest.
Oh, awesome. And I know that there's a lot of AI developer kits, software kits, reference implementations out there for developers to get their hands on and use right away. So, yeah.
So today, what I want to do here, Ria, if you're okay with this, we're going to set up a handful of challenges, and you're going to help me solve those challenges today. And along this journey, we're going to meet a few other technologists, and we're going to tap into the open ecosystem, choose the right tools, and we're going to use it to build responsible solutions to today's problems. So, you game?
Absolutely. Let's get started.
So, our first challenge, speed up development cycles. And one of the great debates over the history of technology has been this open versus closed, proprietary, protected gardens versus the open marketplace. And since the days of Grove and Gates and Jobs, this has been pervading the industry. And we believe that this idea of the persistent, expensive, closed environments, we are the champion of that open marketplace, and we are back. So John from our demo team is here to help us talk a little bit more about this challenge.
All right, awesome. Great to meet you, John.
Thanks, Pat and Maria. So the challenge
Es un
is
servidor.
speeding up development cycles, and I have a tool that I think can help us with that. The Neural Coder, which is a new feature of the Intel Neural Compressor, is a one-click, no-code solution that removes hard-coded CUDA references from our deep learning scripts. It optimizes those scripts for performance, and it benchmarks those optimizations for the best possible deployment options. Let's take a look at how easy this really is. So on the screen, you can see we have an image classification workload running.
Compresor neuronal.
100 frames per second with that. Ria, you want to try the Neural Coder and see what kind of impact it can have?
Absolutely. So all I'm going to do here is go ahead and click the run button and confirm, and is it that simple?
So that was pretty simple, right? Let's take a look at the Neural Coder output. So the Neural Coder has now optimized our deep learning model from FP32 to int8. And it's really leveraging the Xeon scalable processor with Intel Advanced Matrix extensions.
That's fantastic. So what's going on with the performance?
Yeah, so let's take a look at the image classification workload again. We're now running at about 3,000 frames per second,
Whoa.
which is a 10.8x speed up, really leveraging that built-in acceleration with the Xeon scalable processors.
That's looking good, John.
10 veces más con la optimización neural.
All right, perfect. So I'm wondering here then, with this type of one-click optimization, everything's good to go and all easy to use.
Yeah,
Perfect.
so maybe we can start talking about security now?
All right.
Well, one of the things is that, security, right, enables the, ability for us, right, to protect our models, to protect our data. And with that, how can we make sure all this model work that we do is actually useful and the data protected around it? So can you solve that problem for us, John?
Yeah, let's
Estamos hablando de Xeon,
let's make security a little bit more simple.
cuarta generación de procesadores
Computational
Xeon.
computing with Intel SGX protects your data in use. And here we've downloaded a curated container. And
De procesadores de servidor.
leverage the Grameen Library OS project, which with a simple script and answering a
La
few
seguridad es
prompts,
muy importante de los servidores, por eso.
So you want to give this one a
Seguridad,
shot?
están hablando de
Yeah,
seguridad.
absolutely. All right, so this
¿Se acuerdan los hackeos, Meltdown, Spectre, por vulnerabilidad de los procesadores?
Answer a few prompts.
Las nuevas generaciones traen mucha seguridad y todo eso.
says it's being created.
Awesome. So all this data that we're using over here, you can now see on the screen that we've protected that data.
Amazing. So this is confidential computing. My container is SGX enabled. I've got protections for my data, and I'm all set when it comes to that.
Great. Optimizations and security.
All right.
So, very good. It's great to see that we're starting to get real traction from the open source community to take advantage of these confidential computing capabilities. And, we're working to enable a holistic view of confidential computing. In Project Amber, which we'll talk about tomorrow, a third-party trusted attestation service, which Greg will talk about. So we saw the full pipeline today, right, coming to place, right?
Enfoque holístico.
AMX, as part of our Intel 4th Gen Xeon to accelerate, right, on the CPU as well as on GPUs, the capability, right, making it, complete and protected with SGX, but we're also working on tomorrow with TDX, our trusted domain extensions.
Sí, creo que Intel también va a ser
secure enclave at the
de puros i-core y de puros pi-core. Y va a estar como diversificada la canasta de productos.
AI and in their data. So, Ria, I think we've covered, and we can call this one complete in our challenge.
Ahí apareció un...
Okay. So, let's get to our second challenge of the day. So we saw that we can do them faster.
Se está acercando al escritorio, que hay algo en el escritorio.
AI models that we're doing, and advanced, without requiring an advanced degree in AI modeling. Do you think we can do that?
Absolutely. Let's go for it.
So for this demo, we're going to come over here to this side. And joining us on stage is Giannis from our computer vision and AI team. So Giannis.
Thank you.
So, today we're going to talk about AI model development. And this is still a very slow and expensive process. Even then, only a fraction of the models make it to production. Why is that? There are several reasons, but the main reason we see is that domain experts are left out of the loop. So, when we hand the model over to them, it may have drifted, making it unusable.
Oh, absolutely. I've seen these issues all the time: accuracy drift, poor inferencing quality, and then there's also problems with the outputs of AI systems. And I'd also like to see a lot more collaboration between domain experts and data scientists, really drive those collaborations faster. So you have a solution here for me?
I have good news for you. Okay. Intel has built an intuitive computer vision platform that enables anyone on enterprise teams to collaborate and build models very efficiently. Let me show you an example. This is the image of a coffee plant, which is behind the $400 billion industry.
Well, coffee's pretty important to me, right? Enough coffee, all things are possible, Giannis.
Yes, and we say developers turn caffeine into code, so. So we want to help those coffee farmers to use AI to build models that can predict the maturity of the crop. This way they can maximize the yield. So let me show you how you can build a computer vision model to do that. So we have this project here, and I have already uploaded some images. So let's go and open it.
All right. So a question here. I can only see a couple of images, but in a typical computer vision workflow, we'd probably need tens of thousands of images for this step.
Well, that's a thing of the past. With this software, we are using a technology called active learning to drastically reduce the amount of training data that the system needs to train. So let me go ahead and open this image here. And I will select one of our annotation tools, and I will draw a bounding box with my stylus around this yellow fruit, which is immature, this orange one, which is semi-mature, and this red one, which is mature. And when I submit those annotations together with some other annotations we did earlier on, the system will start a new training round.
All right, perfect. So what happens after training?
Well, it's going to take a few minutes for the training to complete. So for now, I have already...
Como son imágenes de café, semillas de café. Está madura, inmadura y todo eso, ¿no?
Previously unseen image. Let's do that. What do you think, Ria?
Okay, this model's doing really well on this image. I am seeing a couple of erroneous and misdetections.
Entonces te da... Aprendió a saber cuál era madura, inmadura y te dice después la foto siguiente si esto está madura o inmadura.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to start with deleting this little leaf annotation, and then I'm going to go ahead and navigate to the quick selection tool. This one looks over mature. And this one looks mature to me. All right.
I'm a coffee farmer already, Ria, or an AI expert. Which is it? I'm not sure.
Probably the AI expert, but yeah, I mean, I definitely need that type of expertise, though, to be able to do this type of labeling, but this is how we can get them in the loop and then make sure that we converge to better models quickly and faster. Is that right?
Yes, and the most important part is that once your model is trained, it can be optimized with OpenVINO, and deployed across different types of
Optimizar la cosecha, por ejemplo, con inteligencia artificial. Una locura, pero puede pasar. Está pasando. Pasas un dron, toma miles de fotos, los procesas con inteligencia artificial y te optimiza el día de la cosecha.
Real demonstration of how Intel is building practical, useful ways to deploy AI. And today we are launching Intel Getty. Powerful
No, aún no se anuncian los procesadores Raptor Lake, ¿no? Vimos la presentación de la tarjeta de video y algunos servidores.
We can do it with small training workloads, and this is now commercially available in Q4 of this year, enabling enterprises to digitally
Como que es lo más esperado, así que va a ir para el final seguramente. Pero la presentación dura 1 hora, así que antes de las 2 tiene que terminar. Y ya quedan 20 y tantos minutos.
How we create the AI models, but of course then our deployment of AI. And this is where OpenVINO has been extremely well accepted by the community and running on this range of Intel hardwares, a fast
Están hablando un poco de inteligencia artificial, más que nada, de diferentes sistemas y tecnología.
Developers using OpenVINO today. And we have an in-market example to show you here today. Please join me in welcoming VP of Operations of Presentación, the Vision AI food management platform, Hauke Feddersen. Hauke?
Hey Pat, I hope you're hungry because the next live demonstration will take us into a restaurant.
Ooh, okay.
We help professional kitchen crews by eliminating manual estimation tasks. Our valued customer, Chipotle, focuses on enhancing the customer and the crew experience.
Un carrito de comida.
AI tells them how much inventory they have at hand and what to cook when to always serve the freshest food and to never stock out. All of this
Ahí va.
on the edge.
Con inteligencia artificial analiza las imágenes.
Devices like that one. We chose OpenVINO because other companies' inference-only edge solutions always just focused on the inference and neglected the CPU-intensive workloads that we need to run in the background, like databases.
Okay, that sounds great. So one of the first problems, though, that I'm encountering, and I'm thinking about that you may have experienced as well, is how do you know how much compute you need and whether or not to use the Intel CPU or the GPU?
Great question. OpenVINO opens up a huge variety of devices for us to choose from. When we pick a device, we benchmark it to verify that it has enough performance for this and future use cases, and then we deploy it. Then it's actually the auto-optimization plugin in OpenVINO that makes the decision whether to run our model on the CPU or on the integrated GPU. And the best part is, with each generational upgrade, our customers get so much more performance out of one edge device. The generational jump from Gen 11 to Gen 12 took us 1 afternoon, and it resulted in 30% more frames per second for our application.
Amazing.
Well, hold that thought. I mean, that's pretty powerful, right? So essentially, OpenVINO allows you to not worry about the underlying hardware, right, and allows you to be, taking, advantage of these capabilities. It's like having a world-class performance engineer standing by your side as you're deploying.
Absolutely. Let's see it in action. In the restaurant, we have those Intel RealSense cameras mounted above the make lines, seeing the food in real time all the time. And we use the OpenVINO.
Ahí le da la frescura con la imagen.
For a dynamic
Miren.
interest. Then we use OpenVINO.
Analiza la imagen, te dice está al 86% de fresco.
Stereo sensing from the RealSense.
Y después te dice se pasó, tenés que botarla. Está buenísimo.
That's a lot of models that are in, part of a workflow. So how is OpenVINO helping you here with this much compute?
We're running multiple
Eso optimiza el inventario, porque gestionas hasta el límite en el fondo, no la botas antes, la botas justo cuando tienes que botarla, por así decirlo, ¿no?
A speed up of 2x. We're now running live inference from 2 vision streams on just one edge device.
All right, so your performance engineer has a question, or your temporary performance engineer. If we switch around those pans, how are the depth sensors going to react?
Let's do it.
Challenge.
If I take out one pan,
all right,
and shuffle them around a bit,
ahí los cambió para
you can see that the AI is orienting itself again.
Ah.
Exactly how
Aprende.
food is
Sabe reconocer.
If I start serving this delicious salsa, dig in, dig in.
I like salsa.
The inventory depleting and the
Le mete las manos para engañar a la cámara y la cámara igual reconoce todo.
Never stocks out. Chipotle is using this computing one-stop shop to scale their amazing operations. But don't take my word for it.
Está corriendo en vivo ahí.
Let's hear it now.
Hey Pat, hey Ria, and everybody at Intel Innovation. By utilizing Intel technology in our innovation center and test markets, we've seen a real improvement in operational efficiency.
Es un restaurante, una cadena de restaurantes. Comida mexicana en Estados Unidos, supongo. Y ellos usan este sistema, OpenVINO, inteligencia artificial.
By deploying Intel's RealSense and OpenVINO technology, we created a powerful and versatile AI solution that addresses our unique needs while connecting the entire infrastructure of the kitchen. We're excited with the results we've seen in our test market and are aiming to fully deploy Intel technologies across Chipotle restaurants in a large market in the coming months. I'd like to thank you all, the true creators and innovators in this space, and hope you have a great show.
Well, thank you to Kurt. My family loves Chipotle, and now it'll even have Intel inside Chipotle, so we can go there more often.
Absolutely, and with this delicious demo, I can say this challenge is complete.
All right.
All right.
So let's move to our next challenge, if you would, game development.
Desarrollo de juegos.
So, modern games are complex. They have, interactivity, lifelike graphics, complex characters, story development, immersive experience. And these are big, expensive development and production operations to bring them to market. This is a lot of work to get done. And to talk about that, I've invited on stage today a world-class game developer, Inflection Games, right, who's striving to bring a realistic, immersive gaming environments onto the PC. Please help me in welcoming Sarah Main-Waring to the stage. Sarah?
Hi, good to meet you. Hi, Ria, good to see you.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm from Inflection Games, and we are creating Nightingale, which is an online style crafting game. And when we're working with a multiplayer game that's online, we get networking bugs. And these can really tie up our development schedules when we try and debug them. And whilst we're very good at doing this, sometimes we don't have any shortcuts. So when we are doing our debugging for these issues, we are connecting multiple clients on a single machine in the editor, usually with a test level. And so here's the test level I wanted to show you today.
Oh, that's beautiful. Looks immersive. Am I hearing birds?
There is a little bit of birds coming out, yeah. And so this isn't the usual test level that I would use to debug anything in. This is a real Nightingale player level running in Unreal Engine 5 on this rig. And usually we would be working in a test level that's very small, contained, very empty, so that we can really drill down to what the problem is. But sometimes that's not possible. Sometimes there is a bug or an issue which only shows up in player-facing levels. And then we run into problems because we have to run these very high-fidelity, dense levels directly on our work machines on a game which is only optimized to run one client on one machine at any one time without the editor even attached.
Absolutely.
And so you can see that we've got some pretty good performance going on here. It's really nice and smooth. It's looking real beautiful. And on my workstation, back at work, this would be what we would be getting in the editor. But we wouldn't be able to connect more than one, maybe two clients before the frame rate just drops off. But on this wonderful workspace, we've not only got one going, oops, excuse me, give it a little punch here.
No está actualizado y no tiene internet.
Sorry, my keyboard is not working.
No problem.
Yeah, no worries. Let's
That es un Real Engine.
What I can do. Yep, my keyboard is not working, unfortunately, so I can't tab to, oh. Okay, so we're switching over to some backup images, but you'll see. So we switched over to some images here.
It's real.
It's real, yeah.
Right.
Development problems. And so what you can see
I think
here,
Sarah, we found the bug.
Ahí está.
we found the bug.
Okay, good.
But what you can see here is that
There we go.
we are running 4 of these instances all at the same time with the same frame rate. And it performs wonderfully. And actually in back, when I had a bit of downtime, I tried 8. And I was able to run 8 of our game instances, which are only optimized for a single on the client at any one time. And yeah, just really impressive tech.
Absolutely. I think peripherals aside, this is exactly what we're starting to get into. Game development's just going to get better and better. And Sarah, to your point, to highlight a cool feature here, I think hybrid architecture is definitely what developers can use here to make their lives much more easier. You can hide the windows that you don't really need so that your OS and your different platforms and applications are able to take advantage of what they do need in the front view and hide or put away the stuff that you don't. But
Yeah.
it's a beautiful test environment, and it's a beautiful use case.
And being able to connect 4, 8, however many we try to do clients at the same time just speeds up our ability to debug and get to these nitty-gritty problems that are only showing up for our players. So it's a big deal for us to use Intel's technology for this.
Absolutely, and definitely as part of that hybrid architecture, performance and efficient cores or P&E cores, that's definitely going to come in handy for these types of tasks.
Yeah, and this is in editor, and we've prepared a little bit of footage to see what Intel technology is giving Nightingale outside of the editor. Can we run the footage?
Let's see it.
We're going to roll it.
¿Esto es un juego? ¿O una demo? No hablaron de los, todavía no. Están hablando del desarrollo de juegos, cómo optimizarlos con inteligencia artificial y para optimizar el desarrollo. Esa es la última etapa de la inteligencia artificial, supongo que en los 15 minutos que quedan los tienen que presentar. Voy a aprovechar, voy a pararme un minutito, vengo enseguida.
That's epic. I caught Pat having a jump scare, but I am so excited to be able to play that.
Yeah, we look forward to you all getting to get to try it soon, hopefully.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. This was awesome.
Thank you, Sarah, for joining us. Exciting accomplishment with the game coming out, and can't wait because I know end users love it. Our platforms want to consume it and deliver it, and we're committed to making all this real. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Ria.
Thank you.
And as you just saw, the future of gaming and creative, immersive experiences like that relies on performant CPUs and GPUs. And with that, today, I am thrilled to reveal the 13th gen Intel Core desktop processor family. Formerly known as Raptor Lake, the flagship i9-13900K is coming next month. This is the fastest, best desktop processor ever built in history, and it takes advantage of our hybrid architecture, both E and P cores. We've enhanced the P core so it has the best single-threaded performance ever, more L2 and L3 cache. We've also increased the number and improved the E core capabilities for compute-intensive workloads and workflows. Together, the E and P cores work together in a hybrid architecture to deliver the best multi-threaded performance. It has blazing clock speeds of up to 5.8 gigahertz, and the i3-13900K is the best gaming, streaming, and recording experience ever.
El 13, ahí está la generación 13, 13900K.
But make no mistake, it's the best CPU, but it's also the best
24 núcleos, 15% en mono hilo, 41 en multi.
State-of-the-art wireless, connectivity, advances in memory technology. As always,
P6 Pre5, DR5 5600.
And whether you're a beginner or
Thunderbolt
expert,
4.
the Intel 13th Gen core delivers the world's best overclocking experience as well. And early next year, we'll release a SKU that for the first time ever hits 6 gigahertz out of the box in limited volumes.
Alcanzó los 6 GHz. Seguramente en el KS.
Industry first, a huge milestone for client computing. And I remember, like it was yesterday, when we first crossed 1 gigahertz. Man, you all are blowing me away. 6 gigahertz, what a milestone. Congratulations to our team. But of course, we're not stopping with the K SKU. We're going to give you the full range of PC segments, including mobile. And we expect over 50 processors as part of the Raptor Lake i9 family, or the 13th Gen family. And we have over 500 13th Gen designs.
I'm back, and I think we should definitely get Hawk at that version.
Yes, I think so. Our game is definitely going to take advantage of this. And given the sheer power and unique hybrid architecture that comes with the 13th Gen processors, I think we can say with confidence the gaming challenge is complete, Rhea.
All right. Thank you.
So let's move into our 4th challenge, and this one's for content creators that need a creative boost.
All right, let's do it.
So I think we need to commemorate our time together today, Rhea. And with that, why don't we do a movie poster?
Okay.
Right? Pat and Rhea's greatest hits kind of poster. And have you ever seen any of the text-to-image creative platforms?
Well, I've definitely seen it. I could even say you're asking the master. I have tried so many different Stable Diffusion models. It's constantly growing, but definitely something that only advanced deep learning enthusiasts can get their hands on. Very hard for content creators to be able to use that technology right away.
Okay, well, AI is unleashing this wide array of new opportunities for the creative process. And John is back on stage to show us some amazing technologies from Habana Labs using Gaudi 2. And maybe we can help create our movie poster, John?
Let's do it. So you mentioned text-to-image conversion, and we're running a latent diffusion model on our Gaudi 2 deep learning accelerator. Pat, Rhea, you want to start the creative process?
Well, how about movie poster?
All right, I'm doing it. The stakes are high.
So the Gaudi 2 is generating 16 images here in just under 3.5 seconds.
No?
Fantastic.
Okay, well, can we go a little bit further? What do you think, Rhea?
Absolutely. Let's do superhero
Okay.
poster on the fly. Gonna type this out here. Let's see.
Okay, that looks better. Okay.
All right.
So, what do you think? Should we take it a little further?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do something a little bit more cool.
So maybe, male and female superhero movie?
Yep, absolutely. In the style of Art Deco. And that's going to give us a couple of cool images that the model is trying to generate pretty much real time.
All right. I think we're looking pretty good here, John. What do you think, Rhea?
I think it's great. The speed is phenomenal. It's giving me a lot of inspiration for different ideas that I can use. Definitely some improvements, but, yeah, I think it looks great to me, John. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't wait to see designers use this and speed their creativity.
Absolutely.
And,
Yo estaba riéndome de las imágenes que generaba la inteligencia artificial.
Of the next generation Gaudi processor. And here I have the
Esto es muy Superman todo, ¿no?
This product comfortably outperforms the A100, ResNet 50, BERT models, the June publication this year of the MLPerf benchmarks. In this model we're running.
Había una sorpresa, habían dicho que iba a haber sorpresa, así que.
So what do you think, Rhea?
Absolutely. Those words, the machine learning models, they bring joy. So I think this is fun.
No sé cuál sea la sorpresa, quizás la tarjeta de video, no sé.
Okay, this challenge complete.
Buen ritmo, Intel está mejorando el ritmo de su presentación, ¿eh?
Okay, so I think that was a great challenge, but I'm also encountering a little bit of a difficulty, Pat. So something that I really struggle with is you need a lot of devices in order to be able to do this type of content creation and being able to, train your deep learning models, and those devices don't even talk to each other.
So, I think, Rhea, that sounds like a good challenge to me that we can attack this morning.
All right.
And with Centrino, integrated Wi-Fi, we created an industry. And two-in-ones and convertibles, we've just been driving these unique experiences throughout our history. So we start with people, what do they want, and design solutions for them.
Okay, perfect. So here's what I want. Maybe there's a solution out there for me. I need a solution to having to lug around my very large monitor all the time.
Okay, so making it a lot easier. And I was in Korea a little while ago, and when I was there with our partner Samsung, they showed me a technology that I think might just solve that problem. And I'm delighted to welcome the CEO of Samsung Display, J.S. Choi, to stage.
El CEO de Samsung Display.
So I saw this prototype when I was on a trip to South Korea, and I instantly saw the potential for our platform. And I just wanted to let everybody geek out a bit with JS, Ria, and I. So JS, what do you got here?
Yeah, it's great to be here. So this is a small PC, right? But sometimes we need a bigger screen. So let's see. I'll show you the magic. Whoa.
Huh?
Oh.
What?
Oh.
Okay, my turn.
Una pantallita enrolladita.
Okay, I gotta play.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
All right, I want to try. Phenomenal.
I'm sure this shows one of the great examples of future trend of PCs. It's because I'm here today to demonstrate this demo. It's very important for Samsung Display to collaborate between ecosystem developers in hardware and software together to achieve this kind of innovative form factor PCs for best user scenarios. So let me have this one. So today we announced world first 17-inch slidable display for PC globally for the first time.
Thank you.
Wow.
Lanzaron eso. 17 pulgadas creo que era.
Yeah, this device will satisfy Ria's need for larger screen and also its portability as well. With flexible display, we implemented sliding technology rather than foldable. Foldable is gone, but it's just beginning, right? So
Fold el que se dobla, ¿no?
and software.
Ese era solo el comienzo, esto es lo que sigue, ¿no?
We expect to see better and best user scenarios of PC near future.
JS, thank you for joining us here, right? And as the leading provider of OLED technologies, as many decades of partnership, this just convinces me we got a lot more coming between us. Thank you for joining us, JS.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ria.
And I'm assuming I can keep it.
And again, continuing new form factors, we create new SDKs to enable those and find new experiences for our customers and community. And speaking of which, earlier this year at the CES show, we announced our acquisition of Screenovate. And this is now coming forward as Intel Unison. And to show an example of Intel Unison, please join our demo geek, Craig, coming to stage. Craig?
Hello, Ria.
Hello.
How you guys doing today?
Doing great.
So, I'm here to show you off some amazing things that we're going to be doing with Unison.
Okay.
But for the first item, might as well pair some of this amazing software that we have in Unison, with some of this amazing hardware from Samsung Display. Okay, beautiful. But really, what we're saying with Unison and the promise of Unison is to bring all of our devices together, regardless of ecosystem or how they move and how they interact, all of our smart devices, again, really working for us in the way that we want to. And just like you said, Pat, with Intel, we're trying to solve the world's largest problems. Well, Pat and Ria, I have a lot of problems. So not those type of problems, device problems. So similar to something like this, I have my great little Evo PC here, and with just a quick, nice little tap, I'm going to go ahead and send it on.
NAP se presentó el 13900K, bastante rápido igual. Y ahora están hablando de...
And here we go.
Pantallas,
Ooh, and I've extended my display to this nice little 13
pantallas
to
que
17
se doblan y
inch
cosas.
device, which helps me with a lot of my problems. I like to have a secondary to screen for a lot of road warriors like us, and so I can take a little 13-inch tablet that I have in my backpack and then turn it into a 17-inch monitor. No back problems, no TSA.
So you're telling me that could I connect like my iPhone to the device or?
Rhea, that's exactly what I'm telling you.
All right.
All of your devices. That includes iOS and Android device like this, all working together for the first time with our Windows PC. So Rhea, your iPhone will be singing and dancing and playing with your Windows PC. Never lose focus, get all of your notifications, all of your emails, all of your texts, and be able to bring that vision. And that's the dream, right, guys? All of our devices working for us, and we're here to bring that dream to you with Unison.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig.
Thank you, guys.
You know, an Intel Unison is a new software solution promoting this open ecosystem approach, solving Rhea's problem, right? You know, but also enabling the iPhone for the first time, interacting seamlessly with the PC, all our iOS, Android devices, and coming with new laptops this holiday season from our partners at Acer, HP, and Lenovo. And this is just the beginning of what we're going to be enabling with Intel Unison. So what do you think, Rhea?
Unison.
It's astonishing technology. You didn't say no when I asked if I could keep it, so I'm making some assumptions. But I would say that this challenge is complete.
All right.
Dun, 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 dun.
Thank you.
You know, and our final challenge of the morning.
La sorpresa.
Sometimes the biggest challenges we face, technologies at the pace of change. And we can invent these innovations, but is the market ready for them? And sometimes the technology isn't ready for the market. And for instance, my passion for silicon photonics. And, you know, well, our vision is to fully enable our chips with optical capabilities, such that our processors today, piece of optics, fiber, going directly into that. The result of that will be much higher bandwidth, much higher communications capabilities at dramatically lower costs. Today, optics is a niche technology. Tomorrow, it's the mainstream of every chip that we build.
Computación fotónica.
So, that was a video of me 2 decades ago predicting this moment.
Right? And that was the year I was born? So.
Oh, Rhea.
Oh, yo no había nacido, Levi.
You are killing me. You are killing me. And sometimes innovation takes a little bit longer than we want. You know, sometimes a decade to make a week of progress, sometimes a week to make a decade of progress.
Absolutely. I love that quote. And I understand it takes a lot of hard work and talent to make these ideas into reality.
Yeah, and at Intel, we invest for the long term. You know, we know that optics, this dramatic amount of bandwidth, you know, moving from photons to electrons, crossing the optical electrical boundary, this was hard. And bringing light and bandwidth and low power right up to the package, and then scaling it for the industry to participate in it. So here we are, and we can now show this breakthrough. Our engineering team has done it, and they've built a detachable optical in-package connector coming directly into a glass substrate. Let's go live to our lab in Scotland and take a look to show it for the very first time. Russell?
Hi, Pat. Hi, Rhea. Welcome innovation to Scotland.
Esta es la sorpresa, parece.
So what we're going to do today is, yeah, thanks, everybody. So what we have behind us is a test and measurement system where we're going to test that detachable connector. So we have on the left-hand side a power meter. So what you're going to see is the power should flick up to the right-hand side. You'll see the needle in the power meter. On the right-hand side, the signal will go from red to green as we make the connection directly to the package with our detachable connector. So what you can see here with John, we have the demo unit here. We have a silicon photonic package. We have optical fiber that runs up through the connector. It's a very small form factor detachable connector. And we're going to measure the light that comes in and out of the silicon photonics chip with this setup, okay? So, first time we've done this live, obviously, so...
Conectando el CPU con fibra óptica.
Keep an eye on the screen. You'll be able to see the numbers as we make the connection. So here we go. So we got power coming into directly the silicon photonic package. The green signal, that means we're measuring light all the way through the package. But we have to show that it's also detachable. So we're going to detach it, reattach it again, and we'll be able to show that here now live. Okay, John. So there we go, we detached it, signal's dropped off, reattaching it, and now the signal's jumping back up again. Okay? So great result, everybody. Thank you.
Hey, Russell and team, thank you so much. This is exactly how I dreamed of it decades ago, and you guys are now delivering it. Thank you. Congratulations to our team in Scotland.
Thank you.
Okay.
Qué loco, qué loco.
Can't believe I get to be part of this history-making moment.
Indeed, indeed. So, Ria, thank you for joining me on this journey.
Sí, David, el directo va a quedar. Salvo que Intel lo tire por copyright, no creo, pero.
Remember to continue to pass
Pero
on
debería
the
quedar.
shared passion that we have for the world of technology and the enormous positive tech for good impact that it can have.
Oh, absolutely, Pat. And I think on behalf of developers everywhere, we're ready to get these technologies running, working for our workflows, optimized, accelerated, and changing the world.
So maybe a memento for you. Let's sign our poster here that we did.
Un póster, a ver.
Grab your pen there, and you and I are going to sign it, and we're going to send you off here.
Dale primero.
Your superhero moment.
Okay. Gonna add a smiley.
All right. There we go. Let's say thank
you
you to Ria for joining us.
Thank you all. Thank you, Pat.
Ahí está. Estuvo bueno el evento, livianito, me gustó mucho, mucho mejor que el año pasado. Ah, no terminó.
So throughout our time together this morning, we've talked about our commitment to being open, systems and software and hardware.
¿Qué pasó aquí?
And our collective potential as an industry is unleashed when we enable openness, choice, and trust.
Como que terminó esa parte y
I
es
want to
como un
bring on
resumen, no
stage a
sé.
special guest, someone that I have personally admired for decades. A no bigger champion of open, collaborative ecosystems, the godfather of the open source movement, the creator of Linux kernel and of Git. Please join me in welcoming none
Linus
other
Torvalds.
than Linus Torvalds.
¿Se acuerdan de...?
Hi, Pat. Thanks. Linus, it is so great to have you at Intel Innovation. We've both been around the industry a few years.
Yep.
And you remember this?
I do remember that. I lost my own copy a few years ago, apparently.
Well, today we are fixing that.
Yeah.
I've signed this for you here.
Thanks.
And when I wrote this book, it was the Bible for the 83, 86, and this was really your beginning.
Literally, this was the thing I used on the project that wasn't Linux yet. Before I actually started doing an operating system, I was really just trying to learn about the new PC I'd bought. And this was the CPU side of that journey, right? And it took a while to learn the CPU and realize that what I'm actually writing is an operating system. So this, in a sense, predates my Linux work, but was very integral to it.
Yeah. And maybe you could just take us back to 1991 when you were first getting started on the project and tell us a little bit about that.
So it's hard to even think back now because it was different for me. I came from a home PC kind of background and did not know the x86 architecture at all, but decided that this was the way into it. And bought my first 386 and couldn't afford the commercial Unixes I wanted.
Importante que esté Linus Torvalds ahí porque en el pasado me han dado la cresta a Intel varias veces por hacer las cosas mal y otras cosas, ¿no?
And I'd grown up with computers since I was about 11. And was used to just writing my own projects. So the fact that I could not afford Unix myself, and I had this shiny new PC, and I had been exploring the CPU side of it, and because the 386 has the task switching hardware built in, it had been one of the things I'd been exploring. And when you do task switching and do all the low-level grotty paging details that this book literally goes through and explains, you kind of end up with a project that is the beginning of a kernel.
Yeah, looks like an operating system. Yeah. So here we are today. Tell us, what are the must-dos for a thriving open source ecosystem?
I think the must-do, one thing
Ecosistema abierto, por Linux, obviamente.
Really strive for is to make sure that people feel like they are part of, I don't want to say the community. I mean, it is part of the community, but they're part of making decisions, and they really own the end result.
Invested in it.
They're invested in it. And it's obviously why I chose the license I chose, making sure that I don't have any special rights. And I really love open source. I love working in a community where it's about open discussion and really getting things done together. And that's actually surprising to me, even now, because I always, and I still feel that I'm not a people person. But at the same time...
I've heard that criticism of you.
Yeah, no, I'm not the only one who thinks I'm not a people person. But at the same time, it's been what has really motivated me for the last 30 plus years.
So let's go forward, 10, 20 years. What's your vision for open source in the future?
Yeah, no, this is not me. I'm not a visionary. I call myself a plodding engineer.
Plodding engineer.
And I say that with pride. I think you need the people who have the big ideas, but you definitely, in engineering, a lot of it is getting all the small details right and looking at in front of your feet instead of looking 20 years out. So I look a couple of releases ahead, and I kind of have a notion of what's coming, but my horizon is about 6 months away, not 20 years away.
Okay, so I'd like to introduce you to Linus Torvalds, my favorite plodding engineer.
Thank you, Pat.
Your career, your impact, the industry that you've affected is nothing short of spectacular, Linus. And you and I, we're not finished yet. We got a lot of time in front of us yet. But we'll be realizing the impact of your contributions for many, many years to come. And it's with that in mind that today we are honored to give you and recognize you in our community as we come here together.
Un reconocimiento.
Right, we would like to say that you are the first recipient of the first ever Intel Innovation Award.
Intel Innovation Award, el premio.
Well,
está bonito.
Thank you, Pat. I don't know what to say. That is actually very nice and classy. We had a water bottle as a stand-in yesterday during the rehearsal.
This was a little nicer,
which wasn't so nice and classy.
And while I was absolutely thrilled to have this conversation with Linus and I this morning, we recorded a long interview yesterday. We'll be posting that on our website. And truly, I couldn't think of a more honoring person for an open community than Linus Torvalds. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you.
We've had an incredible morning together, but this is just the beginning. We're just getting started. In the next 2 days, labs, demos, show floor, cool, geeky things that we're going to do. I encourage you to sign up for the Developer Cloud, download our One API toolkit,
Todo eso se presentó.
engage with us, because
A770, procesador de generación 13, herramientas de desarrollo.
The future, and our job at Intel is to open that future up to you, working together on open frameworks that you can trust. I'm excited we've had the opportunity to come together to learn,
Computación
grow,
fotónica,
build,
Xeon,
challenge, and help each other.
inteligencia
Together,
artificial.
we've taken a peek into the future, one that we will create together. Thank you.
Y ahí termina. Se separaron. Estuvo mucho más entretenida que el año pasado, más dinámica. Algunos chistes que
in the books, and there is unpack. Welcome to our post-show
Así
Innovation
que sí,
2022
vamos a...
live from San Jose. What a
Bueno,
great
está
keynote. Pat is on his way back to
la
our
clausura en
blue
el fondo.
carpet to debrief, so don't go anywhere. We saw a
Durante el
lot of the
evento
same
todo el día,
themes
así
in the
que
keynote last year, but there was one fresh focus on
podemos
this
estar todo el
new,
día viendo, así que vamos a
almost
cortar acá.
post-pandemic era. Technology is increasingly central to every aspect of human existence. And as we look ahead to
Aquí,
the next
pum.
decade, we will...
Vamos a ver si tenemos las noticias recogidas, resumidas, o sobre la presentación del 13900K. Acá está. Se presentó entonces 589, justo cuando no estaba, se dijo el precio. 589. Se esperaba que fuera 660. Recuerden que el 7950 cuesta 699. Esto cuesta 589, bastante menos. Hay que ver cómo rinde, sí, obviamente al final, qué temperaturas maneja y esos detalles, pero se ve muy, muy prometedor. Muy, muy prometedor. 5,8 finalmente, ¿no? Le habían dicho de 6, pero aparentemente el KS va a llegar a 6 cuando lo presenten en el futuro. El K llega a 5,8. Bueno, ya más o menos sabíamos todo lo que era capaz este procesador y todas las especificaciones. Nos falta confirmar precio más que nada. Y Leadership Gaming Performance, a ver esto. Rendimiento sobre el 12900K. Ven como en muchos juegos no se gana casi que nada de rendimiento. Pasaba un poco lo mismo con Ryzen 7000. Muchos juegos no se inmutaban con el poder extra, pero algunos sí. Acá. League of Legends, por ejemplo, Rainbow Six, Dota 2, F 2021, ¿no? Como que tocamos un cierto techo gaming en donde un procesador mejor no te va a dar mucho más. Performance por watt, 40% más, etcétera. Acá está, comparado contra el 5950, da ¿qué es esto? World of Warcraft Shadowland da 6% más, en Mount Blade Bannerlord 2 da 16% más, Counter Strike 16, Total Warhammer 3 19, Fórmula 1 2022 27, Far Cry 6 31, Riftbreaker 45. Bueno, Riftbreaker son juegos ya medio desconocidos. Arcagedon 52. Como que la selección es muy, muy particular, ¿no? Marvel Spider-Man Remaster 58. Bien, bueno, esto es más de lo mismo, ¿no? Entonces, se filtró. Bueno, está todo correcto. Es exactamente igual como se había filtrado en el pasado. Y tenemos el precio que es 589. El 13700, no sé si se confirmó en la conferencia, pero creo que no. Sería 409 y el 13600K 319. Así que espectacular. Quiero ver la review. Porque un poco... La presentación fue bastante corta, ¿no? Y... En el sentido, te muestran 2-3 láminas, pero no... Con juegos muy específicos, como estos juegos, Riftbreaker y cosas que no son muy comunes. Entonces mejor una review independiente, ¿no? Y aún así se ve espectacular. El precio se ve espectacular también. Habría que ver cómo termina al final, ¿no? Me gusta bastante el precio. Es bastante competitivo, ¿no? No sé cuánto costaba ¿cómo se llama? Vamos a poner la música de nuevo. ¿Cuánto costaba el 7900X? Porque no va a andar muy muy lejos del 7900X en precio y aún así tener mucho más poder multinúcleo, etcétera, ¿no? El precio también de la A770 también estaba bastante interesante. 329. 329. No me acuerdo cuál es el precio de la 3060. el precio MSRP, no me acuerdo exactamente, pero 329, un precio se ven bastante normal, ¿no? Porque recuerden que tienen muy buen ray tracing, etcétera, y el precio es más bien bajo, ¿no? Es más bien bajo. La 3070 era 499 y la 3060 era menos, ¿no? Déjenme buscarlo. Ahí está la 3060. No, entré a la página de... No. 3060 Wikipedia. A ver si encuentro el famoso. Acá está. 329 es el mismo precio. MSRP de la 3060, 329. Pero supuestamente es mejor. No sé cuánto valga una 3060 en Amazon. Sí, más 379, la más barata. O 400 y algo. Entonces ahora con esta 329 le va a meter presión al precio ahí a la gama media, a la gama media baja. No sé cuál es el rival exacto de la 3060 en Radeon. Creo que era la 6600. Déjenme buscar 6600 puede ser. Sí, la 6600 está como a... O la 6600 XT. Entonces, RX 6600, por ejemplo. Esta es más barata, ¿no? 249 y XT. Pero es la misma, ¿no? 349 la XT. Y la de Intel es 329. Es bastante bien. Bastante bien. No sé si les quedó alguna duda, ¿no? Bueno, en el fondo, la presentación es más bien para saber el precio a estas alturas, porque está todo filtrado de antes, ¿no? Sabíamos exactamente todos los datos, incluso las frecuencias. Y lo que no sabemos es... teníamos esta duda, ¿no? Si soportaba 5600, 6000, lo que fuese. Se confirma 5600 y el precio, que era como la gran incógnita. Fecha creo que es un mes más, ¿no? La tarjeta octubre 12. La A770 en octubre 12. Los procesadores... A ver, acá tiene que salir. Octubre 20. Octubre 20. Así que probablemente el 19 de octubre tengamos la review independiente. Y ahí vamos a poder ver la comparativa real entre 13900K con 7950X, etc. Ahí vamos a tener la realidad del asunto. Vamos a ver qué más reacciones tenemos. Se empiezan a filtrar, obviamente, instantáneamente todos los modelos de placas madre, ¿no? Ahí están los de MSI, los de Gigabyte, los de EVGA. Por ejemplo, la Dark Kingpin para Z790. Está también, bueno, supuestamente la Aorus Extreme y todo eso. Acá están los modelos de Aorus. También detalle, ¿no? Va a haber que comparar también Z790 contra X670E. A nivel detalle, ¿cómo es el mismo modelo del mismo fabricante, ¿cierto? En versión AMD, versión Intel. ¿Cuáles son las diferencias, no? ¿Cuántas líneas PCI Express tiene cada uno? ¿Cuánto VRM tiene cada uno? Etcétera, etcétera, ¿no? Porque son muy parecidas, pero no van a ser iguales, entonces... Acá están las de MSI. ¿Cierto? La Godlike, la Tomahawk y todo eso. La MEG, la no sé cuánto. Y tenemos... Bueno, acá está el anuncio de la tarjeta gráfica, a ver si sale algo más. No mucho. Va a haber que esperar reviews independientes. Así que eso. Eso sería la presentación. Estuvo bastante interesante, mucho más dinámica, me gustó mucho más que el año pasado. Importante, ¿no? Sí, 589, muy buen precio, sí. Sí, hay que ver detalles. Bueno, yo esperaría igual hasta el 19 de... A ver las reviews independientes de la generación 13, que seguramente van a estar comparadas con el 7950. Y ahí vamos a ver las verdaderas diferencias entre uno y otro. Porque, bueno, igual salen a la venta el 20, así que sí o sí tienes que tomar la decisión de compra después del 19. Porque, bueno, obviamente no todo es precio, digamos. O sea, que valga $1 menos no significa que uno se lo va a comprar. Hay que ver bien la plataforma. M5 quizás sea más interesante que Z790 o quizás no. En ese sentido hay que ver bien. Va a estar muy intensa la lucha. Yo creo que es la generación más, va a ser la generación más peleada en muchísimo tiempo. Muchísimo tiempo, porque si bien antes estaba peleado, no estaba tan peleado, digamos, por así decirlo. Antes era AMD la que tenía el precio por debajo, ahora es Intel la que tiene el precio por debajo. Antes era AMD la que se calentaba, ahora aparentemente es Intel la que es más caliente. Vamos a ver cómo andan las temperaturas, que no dijeron nada. Pero por tener litografía más grande, por el procesador ser más grande y consumir más energía, debería ser más caliente. Y está muy intensa la lucha ahí, está muy intensa. Y eso nos beneficia a todos. Pasa que los procesadores valen 590. Probablemente AMD tenga que lanzar, cuando lance el X3D, pero dicen que lo va a hacer muy pronto. Dicen que incluso sería como en mayo. Que incluso podrían anunciarlo en enero en el CES. Y que esté a la venta por ahí por marzo, una cosa así. Eso sería bueno, sería una excusa también para AMD pueda bajar los precios de los procesadores que tiene ahora. Así que no sabemos cómo se va a desenvolver, pero de todas maneras la competencia está muy buena. Está muy muy buena, así que eso es mejor para todos nosotros, ¿no? Bajan los precios, la competencia hace eso generalmente. Aumenta la potencia y el precio se nivela en un nivel bajo. Lo mismo que bueno que haya entrado Intel a GPU. Después de todos los rumores que tuvimos de que iban a cerrar la unidad, etcétera, etcétera. Eran rumores solamente. Las GPUs vienen a competir. Precios buenos. Eso es bueno para mantener a raya a AMD y a Nvidia, ¿no? Sabemos lo que hizo Nvidia con los precios. Se fue muy muy arriba. Y la próxima generación de Intel va a venir mejor. Y la tercera después va a venir mejor. Y después ya en algún momento va a ser capaz de competir en gama alta. Sabemos que no va a ser un camino de 2 años, ¿no? Va a ser un camino de 10 años quizás. ¿Qué precio tiene la gráfica? $329. Anunciaron esta, porque la A380 ya se había anunciado, ¿no? Nos faltan igual algunas, falta la A750 y nos falta la A580. Pero ya por lo menos ya tenemos la A770, que es la más grande, ¿no? 329, rinde más que la 3060, cuesta bastante menos hoy en día, porque en Amazon están por los $400 la 3060. Esta rinde más en Ray Tracing todavía y cuesta bastante menos. Aún así, ojo, tiene problemas igual con juegos antiguos. y tal. No es, digamos, un producto perfecto. Pero anda muy bien con DirectX 12, con Vulkan, con juegos de última generación. Tiene Ray Tracing, muy potente Ray Tracing. Tiene escalado temporal. Esto de competencia de FSR 2.0, de DLSS 2.0. Así que un producto interesante. Los procesadores también están bastante interesantes. 589. Quizás, bueno, el más interesante ahora sea el 13900K. No sé si esto va a ser tan interesante como se ve acá, porque quizá el 7900X sea mejor, no lo sé. A un precio similar, quizá. O esto sí se ve interesante. 14 núcleos por casi el mismo precio que el 7600. Se ve bastante interesante. Los precios son bastante buenos de Intel. Bastante bueno. ¿Una APU grande? No sé. En un futuro, tú dices. Así como AMD sacó en su momento esos de Vega 8 y todo. Esa es la idea. Intel va a ir mejorando sus APU, pero le cuesta. Como no tiene mucho músculo, le va a ir costando. De todas maneras, no creo que nunca una APU pueda ser una solución real, digamos, gaming, porque por su configuración es como bien difícil. Por las temperaturas que manejaría y todo, ¿no? Es muy, muy difícil. De todas maneras, lo más interesante en ese sentido de APU son los laptops de AMD en este momento, ¿no? Que van los 6800U y esas cosas son súper interesantes por ese lado. Porque están haciendo consolas portátiles con esos procesadores, ¿no? Habría que ver review independiente. Vamos a estar monitoreando esto. Bueno, el stream de la tarde no lo vamos a hacer porque va a hablar de esto básicamente, que es lo que vimos ahora. No hay más noticias, así que va a quedar ahí. Y el próximo stream lo vamos a hacer el día jueves. El jueves en la tarde hacemos el próximo stream y ya tomamos esto más digerido. Intel libera más información que quedaron en duda hoy día. Se filtran todas las placas madre, podemos irlas viendo ese día, ¿no? Comentar, ver si hay alguna diferencia importante con las placas madre X670 y ver un poco qué pasa ya más después de los lanzamientos, ¿no? Ver como una decisión más sopesada, ver los precios, qué pasa, la comparación real de los precios exactamente y todo eso. Así que bueno, eso amigos, vamos a dejar este stream hasta acá. Ya tengo que almorzar, así que estuvo bueno, ¿no? ¿Cuánto hicimos? ¿2 horas? ¿Cuánto estuvimos? Casi 3 horas. Vamos a completar 3 horas ahora. Así que eso amigos, espero que hayan disfrutado la presentación. Nosotros vamos a estar en stream el día jueves, tipo 7 de la tarde, una cosa así. O en la noche, por último. Ahí lo vemos bien. Y vamos a ver eso. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa con la competencia? ¿Qué pasa con este lanzamiento y todo? Así que eso amigos. Que estén muy muy bien. Y nos vemos en un siguiente stream. Adiós.
you.